Hello and welcome to another episode of Funbearable. My name's...
hold on. I'm sorry. I forgot about this one thing. I'm sorry. Okay.
I wanted to keep a straight face too. I wanted to be mad the whole time, but it's so dumb.
There's nothing dumb about this.
So this is all staying in. I guess it will have to get cut because I don't want to be associated with it. I think that's the problem.
It's real smudgy.
Actually, can you grab that shirt right there?
I'd love to.
Oh.
Speaking of,
Ray's gonna. Oh, I better.
You
cover
have
myself.
a compact in your hand. Shut your fucking mouth. If you're holding a makeup puff in your fucking hand, you cannot judge me. Going,
we can't.
I forgot my shirt.
We can't wait. Oh, Ray has to get a haircut 5 seconds before we record, and you can't forget his new shirt.
It's an old shirt.
You're sick.
Dab. Please be angry putting on lipstick, all right? This is all staying in so people can finally understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know
Also,
the chuckheads? The weird fucking chuckheads that
There
are
are a
out
lot of
there?
them.
Sorry, but it's weird. When you know them, it's weird.
What do you mean it's weird? What's weird about the Chuckheads?
Let me put on my rad jean jacket, put on some makeup, get ready for this pod.
Can I say that psoriasis is a disease?
It is.
Yes.
That is true.
Can I say that psoriasis is a disease and so is your ego? And one of those things is killing you.
Yeah. Psoriasis.
No. That's fair. That is
Right.
okay.
See? There you go.
That's fine.
That is very fair. Very fair.
Oh, I'm just saying it so we can move on.
Yes.
It's on record.
Let the record show. My name is Ray Harrington.
I'm Brad Rohr.
I'm Chuck Staten. I want to know, does this minuscule laptop make me look effeminate? Say no.
Oh, I thought that was just a big makeup case. But enough of that. Let's talk about what we're here for, which is Halloween.
But hold on. It's not our official Halloween episode.
It is not.
This is our take a breath.
Foreplay.
This is our fun. We're just having fun.
We take a step back and get mutual
We're just
about
saying,
things.
Hey,
Yeah.
guys.
Hey,
what are
let's
we doing here?
just
Yeah.
flow.
Yes,
Yeah.
Flow.
Let's flow. We'll
Drew
go with
Barrymore
it.
energy is what I need from you guys.
Halloween.
Yes.
Oh.
By the way, I just want to say, working in this environment, not the same as working at CVS. I'm just going to put that out there.
CVS?
CBS.
Wait, I'm sorry.
I swear I heard CVS.
I heard the drugstore chain
Yeah.
CVS.
It's also different from CVS.
Yeah, also not the same. I mean, I worked at a drugstore for 4 years. Direct competitor of CVS.
You think it's similar?
This is not a similar vibe to like my daily work there. So,
Right.
I stand by
Lifelong rivals, Walgreens and CVS.
yes, that's correct.
Can I give you an unfortunate tip? Walgreens has beaten CVS. I like them better. And I grew up with CVS.
How is that unfortunate?
Because I thought you hated Walgreens. I thought you wanted to kill yourself.
No, well, yeah, but not because of Walgreens. I haven't worked there in 18
No,
years.
but you were like, Walgreens was killing my soul. I didn't know what to do. Remember you were telling me
yeah,
that day?
I worked at Walgreens for a while, including Halloween seasons. I say, bringing it sort of back.
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you. I blacked out for a second.
And I felt like I was wasting my potential, and I still kind of feel that way. But
I feel
in a
that
different
way
way
sometimes too.
Yeah,
Me
like,
too.
Yeah. We'll talk after the show. Okay. But no, it is Halloween times.
Yes.
And we are taking just a moment, right? It's not our Halloween episode. We have other Halloween events happening as well. And this is kind of creating maximum Halloween.
It is.
Maximum Halloween.
Max Hal. We had the 2 franchise flashback episodes planned.
Yeah.
We had a big main Halloween episode planned that's coming out the final week of October. But we had a 3rd week. And originally we had our buddy Joe List slated there to be an interview. Killer interview, great guy.
He said don't put it out. He said not to release it.
That's right.
Yeah.
He said not around Halloween. He said closer to Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because he's like,
He's
you're
like,
giving
please,
me thanks.
The movie's about family.
Right.
Have it be more about family
It's better
time.
to push his movie around another holiday like
Right,
that.
exactly.
Not that Satan's holiday is what he
Right.
said.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not what I think.
Not the devil's holiday.
Not the devil's.
Yeah.
And so we said, what about a 3rd episode, or I guess a 4th episode in the month of October that revolves around Halloween? However, We got no ideas. Unless you have an idea.
Oh, I got something to talk about.
I got one big question that no one has ever answered about Halloween.
Okay. All right.
So
wait, if it's proof of God, then I don't think we can answer the question. That's
well,
an
how can it
unanswerable
be the
question.
devil's holiday?
Well, it's the great teapot out in space.
That's a
okay.
great-
No, I do have a good question to start us off though about Halloween.
Oh, to start it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Ask
Kick
us.
out the jams.
Yeah. Get it pumping.
Okay.
When the beat is something, the beat is thumping.
We all know what a ghost is.
I don't want
Would you agree with that?
to place.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
all know what a ghost is?
Yeah.
You know what a zombie is?
Yeah.
You know what a Frankenstein is?
Well,
It's just
The Frankenstein's monster.
You know what a
Yes.
vampire is?
Yes.
Correct.
A werewolf.
Yes.
Still
witch.
important. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going. This is easy.
Okay.
This is more than one question.
Come on. That was a series of
Tell me
questions.
with clarity,
Yeah.
what is a ghoul?
Ooh, Matt Lauer,
Yeah. I think that's
Harvey
It's
Weinstein.
an, no, let's rewind it. This is an answer on Jeopardy.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
What is a ghoul?
Matt Lauer. Who is Matt Lauer?
No. You got to do.
It's Matt
no,
Lauer.
What is a ghoul is the
Is
answer.
the answer.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You say this newscaster, and you got to go through the description
Got
of
it.
Matt Lauer.
Got it.
Yeah.
This morning newscaster was found out to be a ghoul.
Nope.
Nope.
All right, here we go. This co-founder of Miramax Pictures
Yes.
was arrested and imprisoned in 2018. I don't know if that's accurate, but that's
What is a ghoul? I mean, I think you'd want to say the name for this joke
okay.
to work.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, you'd say like.
Morning news anchor Matt Lauer.
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay. All
right. What is
All
a ghoul? So here's the real question, though. I have a real question.
Happy Halloween.
We have it's eating lifesavers. It's not good. So, well, for Halloween, it's a bad treat to be handed.
I want to have a minty mouth, so
Yeah, that
in
makes
case any
Ghouls.
sexy cats or sexy witches or
Yeah.
sexy robots or sexy zombies,
All these
need
things
a kiss
have-
of life.
Well, what if they're a sexy ghoul?
So this is
Sexy ghoul.
this is
Ooh,
the-
so
this is-
drippy.
This is
so
a real
hot.
question, and some people are going to write me off as an imbecile, as they often do.
Buffoon Batoon.
Just because of now.
But all those different
buffoon
Halloween
Batoon.
classic things from
Yep.
like forever, which
Yep.
Ghost, all those things I named, they all have like really clear things of what they are. You can say they look like this, they have these attributes, they do these things. But ghoul,
And I think that's actually prejudice. I think that's actually prejudice to say like, oh, we all know what vampires are like,
oh yeah,
right?
witches all have big noses.
Yeah, they all have big noses. They love stirring their cauldrons. They all go, that's what they sound like. We all know what they sound like, okay?
When we did stand up for a short amount of time before we switched over to the 2-man shows,
When I was begging you guys to do that.
when I had a whole bit about ghosts, and basically it was the idea of being racist against ghosts and having
Yeah.
other things like that. So I came up with it before you. So
I think
ghoul thing.
is
What
a-
is
This
is
is
a-
exhausting.
is a ghoul kind of a catch-all term?
Yeah, I think ghoul
no, I don't
means...
think a ghoul
Or-
is a witch.
or is a
I don't think you can be
ghoul-
I don't think a ghoul is a witch or a vampire or a werewolf.
No, those are other categorical things. I think a ghoul is like a catch-all for creepy monster thing, you
Yeah,
know, like a creepy thing. Oh, the face is all melted and the hair is all wet and ratty, and then the clothes are hanging off. Oh, is it a
Sounds like a
zombie?
zombie.
No, it's not a zombie. It's a ghoul. You
I
know
think.
what I mean?
All right,
Bullshit.
so
Because it has like yellow glowing eyes and it's got like
This is horseshit.
Well,
Ray,
okay,
Ray
we're
and
gonna-
I both enjoy the Fallout games, set in an irradiated wasteland.
Correct.
And there are ghouls in that
And-
fictional
and it's a
world.
race?
Yeah, and they have been so affected by the radiation. I believe they eat flesh of some kind. So in my mind, that is my go-to with a ghoul. That's
your go-to ghoul?
My go-to ghoul is like not a zombie, but because they're alive, zombies
Yeah.
are undead.
Yeah.
They're like a living zombie, which is a weird turn of phrase, hence the term.
Yeah, I think a ghoul is
Ghoul.
just like stuff that falls through the cracks.
Sure. Did we not eat flesh in Fallout? Does that not make you a ghoul? Is that-
There are the
Feral
ghouls.
ghouls.
Feral ghouls
Yep.
will eat you. Yeah. But feral ghouls will eat anything.
Yeah.
Regular ghouls, they talk, they live their lives.
Right,
They're just trying to
get along.
live their
Yeah.
lives.
This is really strange for me. I just feel like, so what you've kind of said is almost like it's a classification of zombie.
Like a living zombie, like a zombie's heart doesn't beat, but a ghoul's heart beats.
So it's
And
not.
that's if you're going into a hyper specific, because I always saw ghoul as an umbrella term, meaning, you know, monsters and goblins and ghouls. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you're just sort of throwing it all together.
I think it's a bullshit
What's
term.
a goblin?
Oh, a goblin is easy.
Why?
Little, round stomach, pointy ears,
Danny DeVito? Danny DeVito's a goblin?
green,
Oh.
Ooh, I think that's racist.
kooky teeth. Get the kook teeth. He has like
Kook teeth?
Yeah, big eyebrows, and he's like, you know what I mean? Like he's.
You think
You're
of the
dangerously close to
Grimordian
a-
guards
to
from
a-
Return of the Jedi?
Or a gremlin.
Yeah.
You're close to a gremlin.
No, not that kind of big teeth. This is like an anti-pixie.
Okay.
Or like a. I think a goblin. I first of all, I want to say, I agree with you. I think goblin is less defined than ghost zombie. All the other things I mentioned.
Yeah.
But I think that goblin is like a thing that's almost part of like the woodland stuff, like the nymph, the troll, the cyclops. You don't think the troll?
I think a goblin is more associated with dwarves and underground.
Okay, well, that's what I said.
No, you said
Woodland
woodland.
dwarves,
A woodland and a mountain are completely different things.
Wait,
Goblins can go skiing.
dwarves are part of the woodland.
Whoa,
What? What?
no, they are not.
Wait, hold on.
No,
He
they
doesn't
are
mean-
not.
He doesn't mean little people. He means like fictional dwarves.
Yeah,
there's no
like
white
Lord of
seven.
the Rings dwarves are miners. They live
in
underground.
mountains,
Yeah.
baby.
Okay, well, so that's part of the woodland. That's part of the nature.
What? What woodland is
first of all-
underground?
First of all, let's back this up. Lord of the Rings, for sure, is a woodsy movie that takes place in the woodland. Yes?
Part of it, yeah.
I think a big part of it basically defines the scenery. Would you say that? Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, but that's because it's taking place in a fantasy time when it's like way back. Like nobody's driving cars in there. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, it's all out in the woods, and they're just on paths riding horses. It's like, well, that's because there were no jets. There were no cars or jets.
I think of elves as woodland creatures.
Yes.
And dwarves as under the mountain creatures.
I mean, the seven dwarves are kind of the most famous dwarves. Can we agree on that before I go down this path?
Yeah, what was their job?
They whistled while they worked.
What were they doing
While they
for
were
work?
whistling.
What were they carrying on their shoulders?
Mining.
A pickaxe.
Hold on.
Mining.
First of all,
Can I just say, for the record, about 15 minutes ago, I wanted to start over.
No.
And I think I need to be clear about that.
hold on. Agreed? Okay, the seven dwarves are miners. Can we all agree on that?
Yes.
Yes.
They live in the woods, in a shack, in a cottage where an evil witch comes and sticks her nose in.
I mean, that's a
What's
different
the
thing.
size of her nose?
Yeah.
No, I'm serious,
We all know
though.
what she's about, you know?
Do you know what I mean, though? Like,
I understand.
Those are
If it gets through this faster, you're absolutely right.
I disagree.
What do you mean you disagree? It's like saying, oh, you know what Brad is? Brad lives at a school. It's like, no, he lives at his house in Warren. What are you talking about? It's like, well, do you ever see him go to school? Yeah, I do. But he lives in the seven dwarves live in the motherfucking woods.
You pick seven dwarves out of all the dwarves in
You already
literature.
agreed they were the most famous seven. We're talking about the top seven dwarves of all time. Doki.
Say Doki one more time, and you will panic.
Yeah. No, but I'm serious. What do you say about this?
I believe
feel
it.
like you want to disagree and you have nothing to stand on, so you're pretending I'm an idiot. But I think
No.
that dwarves live in the woods.
There's no pretending.
Dwarves are woodland creatures.
I think you're wrong.
But you think elves are.
Go read Aragon. Go read Lord of the Rings. Go read
What do you mean,
the
Lord of
Michael
the
J.
Rings?
Sullivan books. There are so many examples that are not Disney films that have dwarves that live and work underground.
I'll say, I mean, okay, who are the elves we're talking about? Who are you talking about for elves?
Like Elrond or Orlando, what's his face in
Calrissian.
Lord of the Rings? No,
I would
Orlando.
say-
Orlando Bloom.
I would say, when you say, like, what elves are you talking about? Probably most elves other than like Santa's workshop.
Yeah.
For
Right.
sure. I think
Yeah.
the elves live in the woods. I just think if you're talking about pixies.
Wait, hold on. Do you think elves live in the woods, Chuck?
Yeah.
Do you think there are elves in the woods?
Pixies, nymph, elf, dwarf.
These are all the categories in your in your dating profile.
I really do think. I mean, are you? So you're making a distinction between in the mountains and in the woods?
Yes.
Is that really like a necessary distinction? You feel?
Yes.
I would agree with Brad that overall, I think most dwarves do live underground or very close to the mountains or in the mountains in order to mine them. Yeah, and I think the woods or like the forest or saying something like Lord of the Rings, it's like all woodland. There are distinct like areas of that. That's like saying all of the creatures in Neverending Story are all woodland. That's dismissing
It's
like
tough.
the swamps, the mountains,
Okay.
actual forestry, lakes. Like, would you say that a mermaid living in a lake lives in the
The
woods?
mermaids don't come from the lakes. They come from like ships. Like people
would
that
you
are
say
like
okay.
traveling afar. You can't travel
so
afar in a lake.
in Camelot, right? If the Lady of the Lake, she's not a mermaid, but she's a fictional, mythical creature, person, lady. Would you say because that's in a lake? Would you say that she is in the woods? She lives in the woods.
I don't know about the Lakewood. I think let's get. I can say if you want to make a distinction between the woods and like a cave or like a mountain, I understand. That's
Thank
fine. What is your take on a goblin?
A goblin to me is it's tough because there are so many different versions, but I think traditional goblin, you're probably pretty close.
Right?
It's like
That's what I think.
like the analog to a dwarf, except generally speaking, goblins are considered bad guys.
That's what
villains.
That's what I kind of think of
Yeah.
it. That's what I think of. I think of it like close to a troll, but maybe even worse than a troll. Troll's good. Troll's
You
bad.
could also see a goblin. Goblin is an open term as well. A lot of these like horror-y, scary creature things, they're kind of amorphous. They just hold certain little things, and you put them all together, and somebody goes, "That's a goblin." You're like, "Yeah, that's a goblin."
Sure.
This is what I'm talking about.
You can have a tall goblin.
I think you're right. I think that certain things like vampire, werewolf, witch, ghost, all those things are kind of clearly defined.
Mummy.
I think goblin is
Mummy
is wicked clearly defined. I think that goblin is less clearly defined. I think ghoul is completely open. Like I know you talked about Fallout or what
Yeah.
Fallout,
Yeah.
but before Fallout, I mean, outside of that,
No, but that's just what they call them.
Right.
It's not. Yeah.
So it's like I don't really know.
No, I think ghoul,
Ghoul is almost like a
ghoul is
collective term for-
a collection of scary creature things.
But-
you know what I mean?
I feel like okay, it just seems like a weird because when you say like zombies and ghouls, it's like it seems like it's saying like cheese and cheese and dairy products. You know what I mean? It's one
Sure.
of the things you're mentioning.
Yeah. Or ghoul can just be a blanket for non-defined. You know what I mean? Undefined scary things.
That's very strange. I don't like it.
Did this start with you watching The Sopranos and hearing gabagool, and you're like, wait a minute?
This when I was a little kid, I was always like zombie, and I would like draw because I draw all the time.
Right.
I would draw,
And you had to say it out loud
witch,
before you started. drawing.
vampire, werewolf, everything, pumpkin. All these different things are clearly defined.
I told you not to mention pumpkins because they terrify me.
But I was like, ghoul. And I wouldn't know what to draw.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Yeah.
You look up and the Today Show's on and Matt Lauer's there, and you're like,
Aha.
But it's just an interesting thing. I don't like that it's a classification. I think it's
Okay.
lazy. I don't want to talk about ghouls anymore.
Can I say? Oh, now you don't want to?
No, I don't mean like with us. I mean like,
I want to talk about them specifically 27 minutes less.
hold on. What I mean is I don't want to hear about a ghoul. I don't
Yeah.
want to hear
No one does. The listener has turned this episode off. So the listener has written in the comments, this episode not as good as a usual episode.
I feel like if you're a writer of some kind and you're like, come to this event, or you're saying something about something.
You're talking about somebody writing a flyer?
You're talking
I'm a
somebody
writer.
prolific.
Garage sale Tuesday.
No.
so
no
Mr.
ghouls.
Mr. Mr. Dostoevsky, how did you get your start before
Well, I
writing?
sort of a ghoul, and he's Russian,
Yeah,
and
he is.
I went like Norway.
Yeah.
No, here's
You
what-
know,
well,
yeah.
so-
People don't know I am originally from Norway.
Oh, okay.
Dostoevsky, when I was writing The Brothers Karamazov,
No, but I'd say-
I thought to myself, what would happen if it was in scary cold Russia, full of snow ghouls?
You know, we'd agreed that the buffoon baton is going to be passed between. So let's keep
I'll
stick to
take
that.
it.
All right. No, well, here's what I'm going to say. Like, and I'm sure you'll know. What
By
I'm
the way,
talking
I said buffoon batoon earlier. I hope we cut it out.
about. No. So in like children's books or whatever, when there's rhymes about Halloween,
Sometimes I call vaginas buffoons, batoons.
No.
Cut that out.
No, we're not.
Cut that out.
Chuck's going to be like, let's use that as a social media clip. I want Brad's dad to click like on that.
He's a real ghoul.
You think your dad's watching all the stuff he likes?
I don't. And he has said, I'll click on anything. I'll like anything. Anyone political, that's fine. I'll take it.
I'm a like slut for sure.
So-
Very similar to a friend of mine, Sheila.
So
She loves movies.
So no. But here's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
In a lot of poems and books about Halloween, they'll be like, Halloween is a night of ghosts, goblins, and ghouls. You agree with that?
Yeah, it's alliterative.
But you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so it's like I think that's bullshit. Leave it out. Find another word that
No.
means a specific
Well, then
thing.
how are they
No.
supposed to rhyme it with, but it's not as fun as April Fools?
How come I can't wear my shirt that says too ghoul for school?
How come I can't wear my shirt that says too cool for ghouls?
How come I can't wear my other shirt that says I pity the ghoul?
That's a shirt.
Yeah.
I pity the ghoul. Hey, everybody, we're just pausing the show real quick to say when Bray said, I pity the ghoul, and I said, now that would make a good shirt. I put that idea in my brain box, and we talked to,
It rattled around.
yeah.
It was a lonely sound.
Yeah, there was an empty box.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a rock tumbler.
Yeah.
But one of our buddies, and he's a listener of the show, is Kenny Rubenis. He's a great guy, excellent artist. His art is awesome. Please
Yeah.
follow him, Kenny Rubenis, on everything. And I wrote to him right after the episode, and I said, Ray said, I pity the ghoul. It's a Mr. T reference. We thought it'd be really fun to come out with something that actually personifies that idea. And Kenny made some incredible art. Check it out right now. I'm putting it on screen. Awesome. And he did it in like hours. Killer. I love it.
Good hours, hard hours.
Hard hours. And what we're going to do is
Hard hours.
we made these into glow-in-the-dark stickers.
Yep.
And so what we're going to do is, because they're super expensive to do glow-in-the-dark stickers, we're going to put them up for sale. If you want to grab some I Pity the Ghoul stickers, go to funbearablepod.com. We'll figure out how we're going to sell them. But you'll get a Pity the Ghoul sticker, maybe some other
I think we
stickers.
should throw some other stuff
We're
in
gonna
there.
throw some other stuff
because
in there,
we
maybe some
feel
signed stuff.
We feel weird
Yeah.
just selling it.
Yeah, we don't
you
really
know?
want to do that. It's just
Yeah.
that they're so expensive.
I'm cynical about selling merch.
Yes.
That's how good these stickers are that I
Yes.
was just like, yeah, we should do that because they glow in the dark.
They're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So I mean, perhaps some used underwear, fingernail clippings. Like, there's a lot of stuff that might end
Whatever
up
you have in your
envelope.
backpack,
Yeah.
everything's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
And
I got to spread the evidence.
we got we got Mr. T's blessing.
Yeah.
on
we
this.
did get Mr. T's.
I called him.
When I told you that, I said I sneezed, and he said "bless you." That's not a. That's not a blessing.
no, but
for the
I
stickers.
called Mr.
Oh.
T. Yeah,
Okay,
I called Mr. T
because I sneezed, and he did say.
and
bless
I
you.
spoke to his wife, Mrs. T.
Right.
And she said he was busy and
Yeah.
couldn't come to the phone. And I said, well, my name's Ray Harrington. And she said, who? And I said, I'm a stand-up comedian.
Of Funbearable? And
Yeah, and I said, of Funbearable, the
Yeah.
podcast. And she went, oh, that one?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, and we have a fun sticker. And I explained the whole idea to her. And she said, I guess do whatever you want. And so, yeah.
And I
so
called.
full blessing.
I did call his cousin,
Oh.
Ice.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I think I know him. I've heard of him
Yes.
before.
Anyway,
sounds
funbearablepod.com.
familiar.
I'm not going to get on that joke train. I'm going to stay
Grab
off.
some I Pity the Ghoul stickers, and we'll throw other stickers in there and maybe some signed stuff. Let's do that.
Yeah.
We have a lot of stuff to give out.
We'll ask Mr. T if he'll sign some stuff for us.
yeah, sure.
Why not?
But enjoy them.
All right, I thought of one.
Oh,
I called his Spanish aunt Tia T.
What's that?
Tia is Spanish for aunt, and T for Mr. stickers. Stick them on whatever you want.
That's the sticker. That's a good sticker slogan.
Yeah. Stick them on whatever you want.
All right. We interrupted ourselves. Back to the show.
Wait. Here's my thing.
I pity the ghoul.
I think we're on other sides now because you're saying, I don't like it. And I'm saying ghoul is fun. I think the word ghoul is a fun. Okay, let's not get personal.
I hate it.
Okay, I like ghoul. I like what that is. I like this idea of kind of pulling people together. Can you act like a grown-up? Jesus Christ. I've tried to engage with your thing, and then I'm saying my side, you're like, oh my God.
You're being a real ghoul, Chuck.
This is insane. I came with a fun thing to talk about, and instead we've spent a half hour
That's
on
what this podcast is.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I want to fucking end it.
No, I'm right. I'm listening. You like a ghoul.
She said, I'm right.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I'm right. I'm listening.
That's his
Listen in.
default setting.
Yes.
That's his default
Ed, what is
setting.
it? What is it? We're going to say.
No, I like a ghoul. I think when we talk about like spooky scaries, right? And talking about Halloween, I think the phrase has just been a part of things from forever ago, from colonial era times of talking about creepy things and people believing in black magic and stuff like that. I think some of that stuff has come through and has become a part of our lexicon. This is so dry. Talking about things like that, where a phrase like that just sticks in the stuff. You know what I mean? Because ghoul is a word that's easy to throw into things like ghosts, goblins, ghouls, right? And things like that. What if, how about this? What if the person who originated the term ghoul had a speech impediment and he was actually talking about a group of schoolgirls that were hanging out in, he's in class, he looks over and he's like, I'm too scared to talk to those ghouls over there, right?
Well, so I guess like let's say like, okay, I understand that. It is a thing.
Let's say, okay,
if you back up and you're like, let's think of another classification of things that are all specific, where one of them is just not specific. I don't know if there's another one that exists. Like that'd be like saying like
lions and tigers and animals. Oh my!
Exactly. That'd be so. What do you think about that? Wouldn't you be like? Wouldn't you find that phrase confusing and like?
Well, that phrase comes from one exact thing.
But it's still like lions and tigers and animals.
I mean, if you want me to sit here in silence for a few minutes and think about other words that we have that mean like kind of a
general classification.
Yeah, exactly. If you want me to do it, I will.
I don't think that there.
I just don't think it'll be good for a podcast.
I don't think that really exists. And to me, I'm just going to say it. It smacks of lazy writing.
All right.
Well, you heard it here first. Whoever wrote ghoul is a lazy piece of shit.
However,
hang up your pen, shithead.
However, I pity the ghoul.
Yeah.
So
is gold.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think this, for me, this falls in line with people being like, they used to say, I couldn't care less.
Yes.
And then people just eventually started saying, I could care less, which makes no sense.
Right.
And some people are like, what are these idiots saying? That's what ghoul is to me. I'm like, it makes very little sense to include it in a list of specific things.
All right. Well, knowing my own, I'll be honest with you, knowing my own inability to let something like this go, I will be sending you so many links.
Please.
And reading up on this. Hey, guys. It's Halloween. It's Halloween.
Yeah.
Time. And this is a Halloween episode. And I thought it would be appropriate to do a Halloween ad break.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
if that's
of course.
okay.
Yeah.
I want to keep it quick. That's why I'm talking so slowly.
Yes.
So
That's the secret.
yeah. So if we can kind of just get together and we can agree now that we're going to do a Halloween ad break.
Right.
Yeah,
That
let's
would be
do it.
great.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
All right. I think I've got the perfect thing.
Okay.
Imagine a dead penis,
Okay.
completely lifeless,
Not challenging for me to imagine at all.
flaccid.
Yeah.
Absolutely flaccid.
Yeah.
Remember that one time you didn't have one or a hard on?
Yeah.
That one time it was soft?
Yeah. That was. Yeah.
It's like that. BlueChew resurrects what has passed. Does that make sense?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
BlueChew is like a pet cemetery for your dick.
Oh. okay.
Ooh.
What do you
Yeah.
think of that pitch?
Well, it comes back evil in the pet cemetery.
Okay.
And I do. I mean, I have.
But okay? BlueChew is like the inciting incident in a zombie movie, and they all start coming up.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Now that I think about it, there's probably not a lot of Halloween based things that can really make the sponsor happy.
No. But that's okay.
Okay.
BlueChew is cool. They like us playing around. They want us to spread the word. They're making a great product, so I think that they're happy with us
They always
joking
say,
around.
spread your seed.
Spread your seed.
When you find your dick has less life in it than it used to, it's time to chew it. BlueChew, that is. BlueChew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablet form.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
No hard swallows for you,
No.
but maybe for someone else.
Ah.
And it's all at a fraction of the cost. Take them anytime and be ready whenever an opportunity arises.
That's right. I've ordered some BlueChew, and it was a very simple process. I was excited to see how simple it was. I actually made some jokes with the doctor on the phone. That was fun.
Did you have to give blood?
No blood.
Did you do a urine test?
No urine test, nothing like that.
Did they look inside you?
No look inside me. I asked them if they wanted to peek, and I kind of squatted over the phone camera.
You turned your flash on.
But it was super, super easy. They asked me a few questions, and it was done in less than a minute. They sent it to me in the mail.
You.
And I got the BlueChew, and man, I'm loving it. I'll say this. We're talking about Michael Myers, the unrelenting silent killer.
I don't think you want I feel like the Halloween thing is a real stretch to put into like consensual fun sex.
But you wrote to someone in a postcard, "I'm going to kill that bush." Didn't you say that?
That was written in a postcard and ascribed to me. Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's, it's like your penis becomes Michael Myers for that night.
And you know what? I think Michael Myers was real upset all that time.
Right.
Because he had ED. Erectile dysfunction.
And who can he talk to
Or
about
maybe-
it? Loomis?
Right.
Right.
He's not going to go to a doctor. A doctor's trying to catch him.
Or maybe he didn't even have ED. He just could use a little help.
Yeah.
He could use a little help, like we
Just
all
a
can.
boost. Just a
As we
quick
all
boost.
can.
A little extra confidence.
I'll say this.
I'll go as far to say, if BlueChew existed in 1978, I don't think we'd have this whole mess.
No, I think the whole family would be alive.
Yeah.
If, like Michael Myers, you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, BlueChew can help. Chew it and do it. We have a special deal for our listeners. Try BlueChew free when you use our promo code Funbearable at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com, code Funbearable to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. Thank you, BlueChew, for sponsoring the podcast.
Big thanks to BlueChew. They're helping us do it, and we love you guys. Check out BlueChew if you want to support us. It's the best way to do it. Thanks.
And I think you can save lives by giving BlueChew to these murderous creeps.
Yeah.
I really do think you could save lives.
Now,
Yeah.
what if mine is just scared stupid?
Ernest never had a problem, ever, in the bedroom.
You know why?
Ernest, can I say? Like a rock.
You know why, though? You know why?
No.
BlueChew.
Chewed stupid.
I'd like to thank our sponsor. I tried to get a joke, a BlueChew and a ghoul, and I can't make it work. I couldn't get blue ghoul. I couldn't get ghoul chew. I couldn't get ghoul chewel. I couldn't get blue ghoul. Like none of them worked.
I was fine with Ghoul Chewel.
Yeah.
Chuck was angry about Ghoul Chewel.
Yeah.
And full disclosure, when we threw to the ad break, Chuck did stand up and open palm slap Brad for making the Ghoul Chewel pun.
Yeah.
And you know what?
It was uncomfortable for me.
It was
was
wrong.
okay for me.
It was wrong because it happened on the first time they were using these microphone arms, so it got right in the way.
It was more of a thump. It kind of went thump like that. Like not enough to really be a full
It was
thing.
not as erotic as I hoped it would be. So I'm not. I was like, is this my thing? It's not. It's not.
Brad's famously into auto-neurotic asphyxiation.
So
Just really get in my own head.
Oh my god.
with auto-neurotic asphyxiation and ghoul chewel, with those two great puns, I wanted to bring this up.
Don't
I'm
put
so
them
excited.
together. I like what he did, but don't put them together.
I like it.
They're
like
basically
75.
the same joke.
C minus. I'm very excited about this. We haven't talked about a lot of timely stuff in the podcast outside of the extra bonus episode, but I'm too excited.
And famously, like we are so far ahead.
We are ahead.
We're so far ahead. I will be honest. There are a couple of episodes coming up that are very sad. They're down episodes because that's when 9/11 happened and we were recording then.
Yes.
And so when those come out, it's sad because it happened while we were recording.
I was going to go in the direction of like, we talk about a great thing right before it goes bad. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. And it's going to sound a little weird because we actually talked about how cool Harvey Weinstein was. Like he was a cool guy.
Yeah, and just had to dub the g sound.
He's the best at back rubs. He's the best. My plants are growing more than ever.
Right, yeah, because that
episode,
you'll know the episode. It's because we were on the red carpet for X versus Sever, and
wow,
I don't even remember.
Wow,
What a pull.
Lucy Liu and somebody, right?
Yeah,
Ballistic X versus Sever.
X versus Sever.
All
I
right,
thought it
so
was a
Chuck
good
wants
pull.
to talk about a film.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's just a concept.
A cinema.
I couldn't believe this, and I'm gonna out all of us here. We've been open about the fact we like movies, obviously. But we are all
y'all.
we are all kind of like, I don't want to say fanboys, but we all really like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I know that there's been some spots in the past couple of years.
Levels to our like and stuff.
Yeah, like a Kit Kat.
I'm going to out Ray. Ray gave me a call one day and he said, you know how you're all in on the MCU? And I said, yeah. And he goes, I'm right there with you, baby. And this was before a couple of recent projects. You did say
and
this.
I threw my phone into the sea.
But
I got on my motorcycle.
Because you started watching all of them with your son.
Yeah, we went through because I had seen everything, and then we went through again, and it was delightful. There were ups and downs in the stuff.
Yeah,
I will say post Endgame, things have been. You know what I mean? Things are rough.
Well, here's the thing.
Because they haven't brought Ernest in. I just did the laugh and it reminded me, when are we going to get Ernest P. Worrell?
We got an email today
in the MCU.
In the Funbearable Gmail.
Yeah.
That's like, I think it said like, I came over from the Chuck and Brad podcast. I was hesitant, but I love Funbearable. It's awesome. The only thing I'm upset about is that Ray's Ernest impression hasn't made an appearance yet.
There you
which
go.
Is awesome.
All I'm saying is, I don't think you can top Endgame when all of the Doctor Strange portals open up and they all come out. Black Panther.
Oh my God. Goes to camp. Scared stupid. Saves Christmas.
And then there he is.
All the Ernest.
And then the hammer is flying through the air. Yeah. And then a hand catches the hammer. And then we pull out. And it's Ernest. It's this bedenimed man. It's this bedenimed man in a gray hat, and he goes, and then he's like, "Do you mind if I take this for a spin?"
He spins it, flies.
I'm not even trying. Hey, big fella, right? And he's talking to Thanos. Thanos turns around. Yeah,
man. If we knew a top VFX artist who could do all the Ernest
how
insert
about this? Just put Ernest in the Iron Man suit. Just take Robert Downey Jr. out.
You got
then you can just use the suit and do the voices.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, and you can also have him in the death scene at the end.
Mr. Whirl. No, here's what I was gonna say.
I did it all for you. I did it for everyone here.
So, I mean, I'll say this.
Am I a hero?
You know, we're not gonna get super nerdy right now. So, real quick.
No, not now. That would be
Why would we do that? So, you know, when the MCU was starting up and it led up to Avengers in 2012, it was like a big deal. And then I think honestly, after Avengers, the quality increased with Winter Soldier and Ragnarok and all these different things that came later. And obviously, you know, like Ant-Man or whoever, some of the movies kind of fell short a little bit. But they all led up to Infinity War and Endgame. Yep. And it's kind of an unprecedented journey over the course of a decade or 11 years. And it was incredible. And like, for me personally, and for Brad, I think too, when Endgame hit, it was like, we were all in. I really think that they pulled off like an A+ finale.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And I kind of felt like whatever happens after this, it's just like, I can't believe they didn't fumble it super hard up to here.
Yeah. It's tough too, because like I feel like what's come after has been hit or miss. And I think a good faction of the fandom has become a little unbearable, because everything that comes out is weighed against Endgame.
Well,
and it's like,
yeah.
it can't be that.
Right.
Like and like the vitriol that like She-Hulk has gotten, right when we're recording this, She-Hulk is still airing. It's
Yeah, I think
towards
so.
the end of its run.
I think 6 of 9 episodes have aired at this
Yeah,
point.
and I've enjoyed it.
Yep.
I've liked it. My wife really enjoys it, and she's seen all the movies. She knows what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
And I like the show because it's like, oh, this is a genuine comedy. This
Right.
is fun.
Well, I loved Hawkeye.
Sure.
As
Yeah.
a show, even though it's not super action driven, I just thought that it was a fun story and a fun
Yeah,
world,
and I was
a cool take on Christmas stuff.
I was super pumped about it because I loved the comic run of Hawkeye that everybody calls Hawk Guy, because
Yes.
it's him not being an Avenger,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
dealing with his everyday life.
He's just a guy.
Yeah, and that's great. And I look at She-Hulk similarly.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited when they pull in Daredevil. That's going to be fantastic.
Yep.
I'm excited
Yeah.
for that. But I'm also like, I'm okay with this stuff not being the be-all, end-all, mega important movie that
Right.
you have to see.
Well, here's
you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, my 2-sentence take on it all is that after Endgame, they said this is so big, let's start making this for everybody, which is why there are so many projects that it's almost impossible to follow everything all the time.
Sure, yeah.
Because I think they want to bring everybody in, and when you do that, this quadrant is not going to like this, and this quadrant.
Right,
I mean,
right.
people talk about the idea of like Friends being such a big show because it appealed to all these different quadrants of the audience, different demographics. And I think that with
Quite
Marvel,
once.
they're saying we want Marvel to appeal to all the demographics. So one show over here, movie down here, movie. That's my take.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't think they'd be able to recreate the hype of Endgame for me, but then they did achieve it with No Way Home. With Spider-Man No Way Home.
Sure, yeah, yeah.
I was blown away, and then I was like, well, that's got to be it. And then I got a call yesterday. I'm at my house. I'm cleaning. I'm organizing. Some would say I have obsessive compulsive disorder. My therapist, Jessica. And Brad says, I'm going to send you a tweet, and I want you to watch it with me on the phone. I said, that's weird.
I'm sorry, I'm still hung up on therapist Jessica.
My therapist, Jessica.
Yeah, I can't do that. I couldn't go to a therapist named Jessica. Huh. It's not therapist enough. It doesn't sound therapy
What is
driven.
your
I
therapist?
have a Catherine.
Catherine's a therapist.
What is your therapist dress in when you go see her? Mine is like, we go to her house. She's in like a little nightie.
She's talking about her rabbit husband.
No, so Brad said, watch this tweet.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's Ryan Reynolds. And I'm like, okay. And then I started watching it, and I'm like, I wonder if this is about Deadpool. He starts talking. He's like, hey, sorry I couldn't be at D23, which is like a Disney event that I don't know that much about. I think they cover like everything Disney. Like I think they might even be like, there's a new Disney board game or something like that. But they also announced their new movies.
Right.
So I was like, okay, it's got to be about Deadpool. That's his affiliation. He's like, I wanted to be at D23, but we couldn't be there. And I got to be honest, for Deadpool 3 coming into the MCU, we have to make it perfect, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And I already know that Kevin Feige, the head of Marvel, for a while now, has confirmed Deadpool 3 it'll stay a rated R series, which is really cool. And now that Marvel's doing multiverse stuff, I'm very excited to see what they do with a more whimsical take on it. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. I love the Deadpool movies. I think they're very funny.
Yeah.
And he's like, we didn't have any ideas. And I'm like, I can feel that this is going to be about Wolverine. But what is this going to be? I could tell when he
What
said that.
sense would you say was tingling then?
My Staten sense.
You're ugh.
My Staten sense is tingling.
Oh, immediately. The Staten sense is tingling.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
threat.
It's,
That is a threat.
it's uncomfortable.
And then he said his Staten sense was
Oh.
tingling.
And
Wearing a
so he
blanket
says,
given to you by the
all the
EMTs.
jury is just going.
so, Your Honor, his Staten sense was tingling.
They're all looking
Your Honor,
judging
in
you.
my defense, my state sense was tingling.
3 jurors stand up and they're like, say he's guilty now.
3 jurors. so.
And then you stand up and go, look, it's tingling right now. Seeing all that vomit.
So
So you know it's about Wolverine.
next to the stand is Jessica. So, and he's like, and he goes, hey Hugh, you want to play Wolverine one last time? And Hugh Jackman walks by in the background. And he goes, yeah, sure, Ryan. And I could not fucking believe it. And I was like, is this a joke? What is this? But then the actual logo came up and the Wolverine claws went through it. I had tears in my eyes. I'm telling you, if anyone has ever squealed like a pig, it is this hog right here.
Okay.
Brad was on the phone.
It was. I've never heard a mythical banshee.
Banshee.
However,
What's a banshee?
No.
somewhere between a banshee and a harpy was Chuck Staten in that moment, just shrieking in ecstasy, and then immediately following it with, I'll kill you. This had better be real. This isn't real. If this is a joke, I'll kill you.
I did threaten to kill him twice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if it's a joke, it's not my
Yeah,
joke.
yeah,
Why
yeah.
am I the
Yeah.
victim here?
He said he would kill me in text.
Yeah.
Did I say
Today.
that? Did I say that?
Today.
I
yeah.
do say
You
I'll
do
kill
a
you.
lot
Did I
of
really?
threatening.
Yes, because I sent you a goof, and I said, "Whoa, the new Spider-Man trailer dropped."
Yes.
And I sent you a TikTok of a girl in a Spider-Man costume.
What did she do, Ray?
I like 2 things about this.
I love 2 things about this. she's in a Spider-Man costume. You know, it's like just the body glove kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And she's talking about like, all I wanted to do was do a cosplay, but all you guys ever say is you want to see me queef, right?
Yeah.
And you guys want to hear the queef. And immediately I'm like, what is this about?
Yes.
And so then she proceeds to
Queef a lot.
queef on command.
Many times.
QOC.
Yeah.
She QOCs so many times and doing Spider-Man things. Like she jumps onto screen with a queef. And then she's going like like that. And you know what? I am a 39-year-old man. And that made me happy today.
Yes,
It
yes.
really, truly did. It's the fact that she did it in unison, and so that's the one part I love about it. And then the second part I love is you could hear her take
Yeah,
it in.
oh,
You
yeah.
could hear her take in the air to expel.
Yeah, I heard it.
And it was very funny. And you wrote to me before you even looked at it, if this is a joke, I'll kill you. And I'm like... worth it.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Look at this.
I do-
Spider-Man
I'm gonna
queefing.
die at the hands of Chuck at some point.
Yeah.
When his Staten
And it's-
sense
Yeah,
kicks
and
in.
I want to
be-
hear it read at the trial that it was over
A Marvel movie announcement.
No, it was over a
Spider-
TikTok of a girl queefing in a Spider-Man costume.
So
Innocent.
I'm
It's
very
justified.
No.
So I get excited for things, but Deadpool 3 in the MCU with Hugh Jackman back as
Yeah.
Wolverine is so severely exciting to me. But
It's
I want to
fun.
know. I know how excited you were. You were excited as well.
I was
You
excited.
can't- I feel like
not Banshee Harpy excited.
you know what's funny? Me and Brad just have a ratio thing where wherever I'm at, it's like he's going to be 60% of how
It's
excited
more
I am.
like it's a logarithm thing.
Yeah, but what do you feel about this? I want to know.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I watched the video and I was pumped about it. But my reaction was not to be like like squealing the way you were doing. My reaction
Hog
was,
wild.
"Oh, cool," and that was was about
Really?
it.
To me, cool is fucking. I don't know. I saw a new cookie. I had a cookie today, but
I don't say "aw cool" at a cookie though. So I think our
Yeah,
levels
this
here
might be a
are
ratio
off.
thing as
You think
well.
you're with
Yeah.
Brad?
Huh?
You with Brad? 60?
I think I'm with Brad here.
I'll say I was more excited to be the one to give Chuck the information than I was to
Yeah,
receive the
I
information
could see
myself.
that, yeah.
Because so often
I'll reach out to Chuck. Oh, did you hear about, whatever this project is? And he'll say, yeah, isn't it awesome? Because he already knew about it. So this was a chance for me to be the one.
I would be more excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That felt good.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not poo-pooing this.
Yeah.
I really like the
Yeah.
Deadpool movies. They're a blast and they're so much fun to see.
Yes.
And again, I think a part of the appreciation there is not only that it's funny, it's going to be funny going in.
Yeah.
It's also something where this is the most important movie ever. That's not
Completely
there.
gone.
It's
For everybody.
not there. Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so this was exciting where I'm like, oh, cool. I like that. I like that Hugh Jackman's coming back to be Wolverine. That's a lot of fun. I have nothing but just happiness about it, but I'm not like, you know what I mean?
For me, I mean, I loved Endgame, and there's so many big moments in Endgame that I loved. I loved No Way Home, so many big moments. But the idea of Wolverine finally being in the Deadpool movies as Hugh Jackman, I think what they should do, because it's more of a comedy and it kind of falls outside of the main serious stuff.
1 second. You said Wolverine is going to be in the Deadpool movies as Hugh Jackman, and I think you believe that he's Wolverine playing a non-mutant man named Hugh Jackman.
Real quick side
It's
note.
so cool that he could take so much time off of his busy schedule being an X-Man.
Real quick, we were writing the Senior Discount TV show about my band,
Yep.
and one of the things was that I worked at Movie Stop, which is a real place I worked that's just like GameStop for movies. And one of the storylines we came up with was that Hugh Jackman came to do his signing as Wolverine, and there were all these coincidental cues that he really was Wolverine,
Gotcha,
and that one of
yeah,
us was being,
yeah.
which is fun.
Yeah.
But no, but I was gonna say is like, it's incredible that he gets to do this because I think that there's some good X-Men stuff. Like I like First Class and Days of Future Past, and I love Logan. I think Logan's excellent.
Logan's great, yeah.
But the rest of it is like kind of a huge train wreck, and they keep contradicting each other. It's really weird. And the idea of him finally being in the MCU, it's almost like Hugh Jackman is this incredible portrayal of this character, much like, honestly, like Sylvester Stallone playing Rocky, whatever, this historic portrayal of this character. And it just missed when Marvel actually got the rights back to be in control of this character.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck. But he's signing on for one last one. And so I feel like they can really do it well. And here's my idea. I don't think it's going to happen, but here's my idea. I think just for the moment, because it's Deadpool, it's whimsical, it's silly, they should find a way to get Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine to team up in some way in this movie to finally get them on screen for one big battle.
Wow.
Because
Chuck,
they're the definitive versions of all these characters.
Chuck looking for a reason to mash pop
But
culture
these
together.
characters do exist together.
I know they exist together, but I do think it's funny that you're like, so not only did they get Hugh Jackman back, but they're also getting Tobey Maguire again.
Well, he's already in.
And-
He's already in. Don't you wouldn't say that?
And sure, and they're going to get Robert Downey Jr. to reprise his role for this, which I think will come down the road when there's clear struggle and they're like, here
We
is
need
a
a
truck
Tony.
full of cash.
Yeah.
Come back.
I think he's going to come back soon. I think he's going to be the voice of Ironheart's costume, who is in the Black Panther 2 trailer.
Right.
Which is very nerdy.
And why stop there? Why not bring Black Panther into it?
I'm serious, though. I'm serious. These are, like, I'd say the two biggest, like, long-running superhero roles are probably Robert Downey Jr. and Hugh Jackman.
And Nick Fury.
Well, I mean, but Nick
I
Fury
know.
is not
Yeah.
really a main character
Yeah.
most of the time.
Yeah, I'd go.
Downey.
When I think of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, I do think of Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. Yeah.
Because I think if they put it in the main timeline, it would be a little bit weird and cheap. But if they
Yeah.
make it like, who gives a fuck? It's Deadpool. And they put it in that.
Sure, yeah.
Then I think they can pull it off. Anyway, I just wanted to express.
You said you were going to tie this into Halloween, and I'm waiting for that.
Oh, yeah.
I have a way to tie it in.
Oh, see, Braid's going to do the assist.
Oh, no. Let's see where you were going to go.
Well, you know,
Watch
there's
yourself, but I'll allow it.
Deadpool, many would consider a ghoul.
This is exactly where I was going. Because he looks.
Because he's a
he looks
zombie,
like that,
but his
and
heart
he's-
is beating.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Classic ghoul.
Yeah. All
Dead
right.
ghoul.
There you go.
Dead ghoul.
You beat me to that one.
I think the name of this episode has to be I Pity the Ghoul.
Missed it
right?
by
Pity the Ghoul.
Wait,
Yeah.
is that an Ernest P. Worrell? Okay, missed it by that, or is that someone else?
it by
that much.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I think that's Ace Ventura.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to get nerdy for a minute. I'm so excited for this. Oh, I'm so excited.
What are you fisting when you do that?
This is me. I'm punching
My fun hole.
I'm behind myself.
Oh, no.
Jessica calls it my fun hole.
Now, if you could queef on command while doing that for a sound effect, you got me. Click on that, subscribe. Yeah. I think, let me be clear. I was not expecting that in that video, right? Like someone.
I didn't know what she was going to do
My
either.
TikTok feed is mostly like cat shelters. And like, please donate to
that's
help.
because people. Oh, no.
I don't get
Brad, the
spider
algorithm
queefs.
thinks you are a single, probably have been abused in the past woman.
Yeah. That tracks.
Oh, okay. You are kind of a cat lady.
Yeah, I
oh,
sure
really?
am.
I like it.
I sure
like
am.
it. But I don't usually go on TikTok.
Right.
I'm kind of TikTok averse, right?
Yeah, no,
I've never gone on TikTok.
The only reason
It's
people
not
should go
worth it.
on TikTok is to follow Funbearable Pod on TikTok.
Oh, a lot of clips. A lot of fun clips.
And to watch that Spider-Man queefing lady. But it was on Twitter, and someone had tweeted this thing.
okay.
Yeah, of course.
And so I went to it through that.
Yeah,
Got
right.
it.
And I get there, and I'm just so delighted. Like I'm waiting for my son's bus to arrive at the bus stop after school.
So you can show him?
Yeah, I ran to the bus stop. I'm like, he's got to see this.
Daddy,
no,
what's
I'm in
happening?
the car and I'm watching this thing, and I genuinely started laughing. Which, when you see stuff on your phone by
Yeah.
yourself, your response is never. You might be like send it to somebody, be like, this is such a funny video.
Yeah.
But
sure.
like most people's LOL face is. Right, that's for the listeners, non-viewers. I just deadpanned. That's basically it.
Ooh, dead. I have one last Halloween thing. I had an idea for the podcast.
Okay.
One last thing. I
Yeah.
promise it's short. I want to make a proposal to you. You have to say yes no
I'm
matter
already
what
married.
it is. You ready?
That's not a proposal.
Now.
That's a demand.
I thought about this recently.
We're hostages in this situation.
Oh,
we're all,
yeah,
we're all buddies. We're all
Yes,
buddies.
we are all
Sometimes
buddies.
it's hard for grown men to express how they feel. You
Yes.
think about that?
Oh, yeah,
Sure.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought one of our episodes
Raise your
coming
hand
up.
if you didn't have a dad. Oh, okay. So for the listener, non-viewer, my hand went up, and Brad and Chuck, their hands did not go up.
I actually lowered my hands because I have such a great dad.
I have an extra dad because I have Chuck's dad.
This
so anyway,
man, this
sucks. So it's hard to talk about how we feel about each other. And I want to do an episode where we really write how we feel about each other without the burden of feeling any pressure. So I want to do an episode where we hold 3 mock funerals. One for Ray, one for me, one for Brad, and we give our eulogies so that you could all find out about how we feel about each other without the burden.
the levels he will go to just have us say nice things.
I don't
about
know
him.
that this is going to work out with us continuing to be friends.
Here's my
Yeah.
thought. Here's my thought. Like, let's say it's Ray's turn. Let's rate Ray's funeral.
Yep.
We have the casket.
Statistically, probably.
We have the casket. We'll tie a black bandana signifying
Hold on.
death around.
Where are we getting the casket?
We're gonna get a casket. I have a casket guy. We're gonna tie a black thing around your head so we don't have to look you in the eyes. And then Brad and I will give a eulogy, and you'll happily know how we feel.
Can I just tell Ray that I like him?
Oh no, you're gonna feel differently when you see this casket. And
That's a big casket. It's a big casket.
I can only afford a little one. And we're gonna take some of his.
Those are the saddest. Y'all, those are the saddest caskets.
So here's the thing.
A little casket.
So he's gonna-
when y'all see a
he's
little
gonna-
casket, don't you just weep because you know either it's a child, which is the saddest one, or a little person, and you just know that's
Or
sad
it's-
too.
or
That's
it's
sad
a dwarf
too because who
that
was
they go
carrying?
deep into the woods
well,
to get
because
him.
you know his little people friends were the ones carrying it, and it's just you see it and you're like, I mean, it's objectively funny. But
So here's my idea. So you'll have
I don't
the
know
black.
if that was Sheila, but
You'll have the black bandana on, and Brad can give his eulogy, and I can give his eulogy without the burden of like A, you looking you in the eyes, so we can make that, and B, you can't argue with us because you're dead.
no, I think it's impossible for you to write that genuinely and not put jokes in.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a
It will
roast.
only be,
It's
yeah,
not
it's
gonna
just
be a roast.
jokes.
I promise it won't be a roast.
But there will be jokes.
well, I mean,
gotta
there will be
entertain the people.
there
It's
will
a
be-
podcast.
Yeah,
well,
that's why I think this is a bad thing to do for the podcast.
Mock funerals, we're gonna do it.
I thought you said we are going to write each other's living wills.
Oh, I had that idea too.
That's fun.
That's
That
a
is
different
fun.
idea.
Oh boy.
So, but the idea of like the pageantry of a casket and blindfolding us just so you can read mean things about
no, I'm
us.
not. I promise it. My idea is not being mean. I want to say I love you too.
But you're
could
going to
just
put
say-
jokes in there.
But jokes. What if I say a joke about Brad? I can write any joke. Who knows what I'm going to write? I don't
Who
have
knows?
it written. I didn't write
Who
my
knows?
eulogy yet.
The page is unwritten, folks.
Will you guys commit to doing a mock funeral
No.
episode?
That's very,
Are you
that's
thinking about
very
it?
simple.
I'm
no.
thinking about it.
Yeah, he's thinking about it.
Okay.
That's 1.5 votes.
Yeah.
So
I'm
75%?
you know what? I'm doing the waffle on it.
Yeah.
you come on. This would be fun.
We'll
think about it.
We'll think about it.
Did you see Huck and Finn?
All right, wait.
We'll
Are
think
we still?
about it.
Is this Halloween related? I guess death,
death.
funeral.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so the Huck and Finn. That's how they found out how the townsfolk felt.
Right.
Huckleberry Finn.
Huck and Finn.
Yeah, there's just one. It's Huckleberry Finn.
Huck and Tom.
Tom.
Yeah. Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer.
Let's
JTT.
let's stop naming characters from that book right now.
There was one more.
No.
Rhymes with.
Nope.
So, but anyway, they went to their mock funeral, and it all was.
No, it was a real funeral.
No, it was a real funeral because they thought that they were dead.
Yes.
There were very few jokes.
Well, it
Right.
wasn't a mock funeral, but it wasn't a real funeral.
There was no-
They were actually alive, and so they were able to see how all these people felt about them, and it made their relationships stronger. That's the point of the book.
No, the
No,
townsfolk
that's not
were
the point of the
largely
book.
indifferent.
Yeah.
I didn't read the book, but I think it could work in a situation today.
Do you just need some compliments? Because we can.
Ray
give
said
them
your jacket was rad. Remember?
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Well, I might be wearing. Who knows if I'm going to wear it at the funeral?
Well, I mean, it's going to be mangled in the car wreck.
Right.
Well, I think we should just say.
How did I die? Autoneurotic asphyxiation.
You know what's the weirdest thing? You know how
And
Brad died?
Chuck's car accident is because he kept looking at himself in the rearview mirror.
You know what the weirdest thing? You know how Brad died? Syphilis.
Whoa!
I mean, I've had it for years.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Sisyphus.
Yes, this is the Rock. Just
Yeah. It finally
All
got
right,
him.
we'll talk. We'll talk about the
we'll talk
funeral
more.
off air. I have an idea
Yeah.
for who could be reading the like dearly beloved, all that kind of stuff. I know who could do that.
Okay.
It's gonna,
All
it's
right.
gonna be good.
Oh, good.
Funeral.
all right.
Funeral. That's funeral. No one. Funeral.
Trying to get you
Phoebe
into it.
Bridgers
Hands
to
in
sing
for
it. Mount-
funerals, guys. Who loves burying the dead?
Or
I
cremating
think
us.
this is gonna be. If you don't think our friendship will be stronger after this, you're out of your mind.
I think friendship bonding often happens through traumatic experiences,
All right, let's do it.
By-
like being held captive by an egomaniac.
Yes. And forced to play out his
In a
fantasies
casket.
about
Yeah.
death.
We'll think about it.
All right.
But we have more to talk about. That's more important.
We have a Halloween flow.
Yeah. Now that the episode is over, we can get to the topic.
It's
I
not
guess.
over.
It's been an hour.
It's all right.
It's fine. And
Yeah, we do some.
cutting it down to 35.
Yeah, there's
No, it's all
there's
good.
some trimming that needs to be done.
oh, believe me,
Yeah.
right in my will,
that-
in my living
that-
will.
That's also what the mortician's going to say when he strips me down.
But did you see the email that came in today? The Funbearable email?
I did, yeah.
And it said the review that was like, I love Funbearable so much that I'm changing my will so that if I die, me and my wife die, my children go to Chuck, Ray, and Brad. I thought that
Yeah.
was very sweet.
I think it's very nice. I like stuff like that, but it does make me worry.
Yeah, please don't.
Don't send us your children. Listen, we love that you like what we're doing, and
Send
we're
us-
very appreciative
How
of
about
that.
this?
Don't send us your
How
children.
about this? Hope send us pictures first.
No, don't send us
No,
pictures of
no,
any children.
no, no, no.
no,
I
no,
just want to
no,
know
no,
if they're
no.
winners.
no, because I don't want photos of children arriving.
Whatever.
Just chuck it at mailboxes, etc.
Yeah.
Like any packages for me.
It
Gets
should
out
be
a jeweler's loop.
it should be addressed to fun.
Whoa.
It should be addressed to Funbearable for liability purposes.
Whoa,
Imagine if we got like
good cut, good clarity.
like
Wow.
a basketball player or a gymnast or a tennis player.
Why are they all athletes?
Yeah.
What's
Take
wrong
Take
with
care
like?
of us when we're old.
Oh, so somebody in the arts or like the sciences couldn't do it?
And a gymnast isn't going to take care of you when they're old. They're riddled with arthritis.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're riddled. They'll look at their
bowler.
dancer's feet. Oh,
A pro golfer.
a prowl fur.
Ray, I believe you had some more Halloween stuff.
Thank you so much. And also, thank you for saying the official Ray Harrington phrase of Halloween, Halloween.
I like to say it, but I don't want to steal your thing.
If streamers and balloons could fall right now, they
can
would.
keep it.
Halloween. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, you're back to
No, I'm just saying.
antagonistic.
I'm gonna say no.
Is this because I didn't
I'll
like
do
your
regular Halloween?
living funeral idea?
I think I'm gonna
Let's
get
do a
you there.
funeral for content.
Well, I think we're gonna have some fun.
How about this? You can do an episode of the podcast at my actual funeral.
Ooh,
Is that a fair compromise?
yeah, that'd be fun. We could have Kalina on.
you know what?
Finn,
You know what would be real fun?
Kalina's new husband.
Brad. It'd be fun if we did a Funbearable takeover.
I would be okay with that
Thanks.
because it would be a sexless marriage. I'm sorry. Can we get to the thing?
Okay, well, I'm just gonna say it would be fun one day if we did like a Funbearable thing where we don't know anything and Brad runs it, and we don't. When another one we don't know anything but Ray runs it.
Sure.
And we don't know anyone. Chuck runs it.
Well, I don't know about that third one.
I think that happens.
Yeah.
I think that just
I
happened.
think that's been happening
Yeah, this episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
for the 5 hours we've been recording.
We did. To be fair, we took a good break to have an argument.
That's true.
That's a true fact.
Yes.
So,
I'm just looking at my digital book.
oh, okay. All right.
Go ahead.
It's weird that you held it. What are you doing with it?
He's doing a bit.
Sort of. I'm pretending I'm reading.
While I do the.
Go ahead. No,
all
start.
right.
You're
Well,
gonna,
that's fun.
you're gonna find out the other characters in Huckleberry Finn. Oh, that's why.
We shouldn't do it.
I like
Guys.
the prefix Huckleberry. Good.
So Halloween adjacent,
Or
right?
Halloween adjacent.
Halloween adjacent. Yeah,
Yeah, I was like adjacent.
so
Nope.
much. My son and I are watching a movie. He's seeing it for the first time, and
Okay.
I haven't seen this movie since I was a child.
Showgirls.
No, I was in Showgirls when I was a
that's right.
child.
That's
I was a background actor. I
You were
was
a PA.
no, I was a background actor. It's in the credits. It says confused boy at the show.
It says confused PA at the show.
I'm going. I guess the only difference is like in one I have a belt with tape on it, you know? Like just various tape rolls of tape hanging off of it. So, yeah. What am I doing here? Hello?
I think I'm on camera.
Why is that gay man being so mean to the tall lady?
I'm screaming. I think I'm on camera.
I don't know where I am.
They credit you.
You see, there's a normal shot in the movie where she's talking to another person, like Gina Gershon's being real mad, right? And then you just see me as a child, like a 6-year-old boy,
Right.
literally walking up to camera, and you just see my head like this, and I go, I don't know what's going on right now. What's happening?
Why do they keep this tape?
He represents the Greek chorus that is the audience.
She looks cold. Yeah. So no, we're watching E.T.
Oh.
This is my son's first viewing of E.T. He's
Okay.
8 years old in the year 2022. And E.T. is it's a thing from the past for
Yeah.
him, right? And I haven't seen it since I was a kid. Now, here's how I remember E.T. I remember E.T. as like, oh yeah, that movie I really liked when I was a kid. I had a tape of E.T. Like that was the first tape I think I had.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it as a movie like, yeah, it's one of those movies from when I was a kid that I loved.
Right.
And I watched it with my son, and I have mixed feelings about it now that are
My feelings are 100%
Uncomfortable.
pure. Okay, I'm telling you that.
what are your feelings?
I mean, I'll say this about Halloween: the ET Halloween scene,
Yeah.
Great.
perfect aesthetic for
Yeah, it's
Halloween.
fun.
Perfect.
Yeah. Although I do think it's fucked up that their mother sees E.T. with a sheet over him. You know E.T.'s gigantic head? You know his
I mean, some would say it's a normal size head.
gigantic head.
Not that big. It's just,
It's big.
so
You
he has
know-
to buy custom glasses. What's the big deal?
Like if a human head is a regular shoebox,
Yep.
his head is like real big boots. Like it's wide. It's a square head.
Okay.
And the mother sees
It's like a traffic cone. That's the shape of it. going out to the wide part.
I think if you took 2 traffic cones, turned them around, laid them on their sides, that would be his
that's
head.
what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's disturbing. And and she sees E.T. under the thing. She just sees just this giant boxy shape, and she's like, "That's my daughter that I know and see every day. That's her, not talking, but that's definitely her." You know, and it's insane that she's like, "All right, go ahead," and
he's like,
"Yeah, oh, that's my daughter." That's just my daughter.
Okay, I'm terrified of ET. I've always been terrified of ET. When I went on when I was a kid, like I'm talking like 8, I went to Universal Studios with my parents.
Yeah,
there's an ET ride. Went on the ET ride. I was terrified to go on it. They spray you with mist. It smells like foam. I don't like it.
I have 2 thoughts as to why that happens.
And so,
one thought as to why both things happen.
It shocked me and traumatized me so severely that I went back to my grandparents' condo. No lie. Locked myself in the bathroom and threw up for hours.
Jesus Christ.
It's not even remotely. And I remember.
I think that says a lot. I think we're learning something.
But that's still your standard response to like being moderately frightened.
Yeah. Can we get Jessica in here for a second?
You're not going to believe this.
Punch your fun hole, Chuck. Punch your fun hole.
You're not going to believe this. But I just remember I was in the bathroom and they're like, my parents like, let us in. And I'm like, no. And I'm throwing up and I'm imagining E.T. with the razor sharp teeth. And it's just like, I remember the visions. It was terrifying.
E.T. famous for his razor sharp teeth.
Throwing up.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know. But I remember this traumatizing incident.
Yeah.
I wonder if I called my mom if she would corroborate this story.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, she has, because you've talked about this at like Thanksgiving.
What did she say?
And she's like, we were so worried about you, Chucky.
Jesus.
I know.
Yeah. Lot to unpack.
Yeah.
Lot to unpack. What's your feeling on E.T.? Because you're a little older than
Well,
me.
here's the
Same as
thing.
me.
Here's the thing. I didn't see E.T. until I was grown.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and so when you said for your son Finn, it's
Yeah.
a thing from the past, and I'm like, all right, so that movie had been out for like 30 years when your son was born. Then I did the math, and I'm like, that's like me watching a movie from 1948. And then I got sad.
Yeah,
So I'm going to go throw up in the bathroom for an hour.
We're worried about you. No, here's my thing is watching and my son, and it's so weird that he is gravitating towards E.T.
Right.
Like, he likes E.T.
Kids like E.T. I always was like, why is everyone like E.T.?
This is my thing. Watching it now as an adult, I am truly baffled as to why this was the children's movie at the time. And my theory is, like, were we just so starved
Yes.
for child-based entertainment where we get this movie with a disgusting wet brown creep just going whoa, whoa, like that all over the place, and we're like, we love it, it's for us, it's for children, we like him, we like the waddling wet creep, we love a waddling
I mean,
wet
don't
creep.
we all feel like a waddling wet creep
This is
inside?
what I was going to say. I think what's going to come out right now is that Brad heavily identifies with the sexless, waddling, long-necked,
Hold up.
easily shocked E.T.
I agree with everything except sexless, unproven. Because I have more questions, and we will get to that in a second.
I've seen him undress, and it's round. It's round.
It's the same thing. I not to get too psychobabble, but wouldn't many kids identify with E.T.? You're dealing with this unfamiliar world, aka growing up.
Does E.T. eat cats? No,
That's Alf.
Alf eats
That's
cats.
Alf.
Alf eats
That's
cats.
Alf.
All right.
Yeah.
Back it up.
Buffoon baton.
But I think I don't know. For me, I identified with Elliot
Right.
because Elliot
Is a human.
He's a human boy.
Yep.
And he feels lonely,
Yep.
and his dad is gone.
Right.
So
Some of us-
for some reason, I connected with Elliot.
Where was
For
E.T.'s
some-
dad the whole time, Ray? Why didn't you connect with
How about this?
the wet brown?
What if E.T. is a dad? We don't know
Could
how
be.
old E.T.
Could be.
is, right?
Could be.
We just that guy could be 800 years old. We
Right.
don't know. But my thing is like that. Like
It's disgusting.
and this is my thing. I'm watching the movie with him now as an adult, and I'm like, you know what? There's some really great like filmmaking stuff here.
For sure.
It's Spielberg.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah. The
doing
kids
Spielberg
taking
things.
off is awesome.
Not even that. I'm talking like basic building block stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that outside the mom, you don't really see any adult face in the movie.
Right.
So far, we got one more night to go with the
Yep.
movie. But like,
So you didn't get to the end where he dies?
what?
No, I'm serious.
No, he not yet for Finn. I know
That
I know the story.
is the like to me. If there is like a hellish moment in like a scary movie, like that, people look at The Thing from John Carpenter,
Yeah.
as being like the height of practical effects in terms of being scary.
Yeah.
E.T.'s death with all the people in the suits and the tubes and the kids screaming.
Yeah.
To me, rivals the Thing.
And I think it makes sense that he turns white then, because have you ever seen like a dog shit that's
Yeah,
been left out for too
exactly.
long? It
Yes.
petrifies and turns
Yes.
white. That's E.T. because E.T. is like Steven Spielberg said. You see that hunk of dog shit on the ground? I want it to look like that. That's my point. Is like looking at it as an adult.
He lost a bet where he's like, "Could you make a hunk of dog shit into a lovable character?" And he's like, "Fuck yeah, I could."
Yeah, I can, George. Okay, but I don't think you can. I don't think you can do it.
I bet you can't do it.
I bet you can't make an alien fucking weirder than I can.
And he's like, "How about the one with the big lips that go out?"
Oh, yeah, what about that? I have a big man dog in mind. What are you going to do?
Yeah, that's right. They had a disgusting alien off, and that's where ET came from.
I mean, it wasn't Close Encounters first though?
Were they disgusting?
No, those were like you see them for a
Right.
second, but
Yeah.
they're more just like cloaked in mystery.
I never saw
mystery.
Close Encounters.
The first one's so good. And First Encounters,
Close Encounters of the First Kind.
far away encounters of the first kind. Yes, they get closer as they get. Anyway,
Radio telescopes.
But like we take ET as like, yeah, that's ET,
Yeah.
right? But when this movie was made, Steven Spielberg was like, that's what I want it to look like. That's what I want it, because it is like, other than it, he got big eyes right.
Sure.
Big eyes, sure. But I challenge anyone at Pixar to take the description from Steven Spielberg from like the pre-production,
Right.
and create a creature that is in any way pleasurable to look at.
Oh
right?
my God.
Because E.T. is disgusting.
I hate him.
He's got the eyes, fine, but the eyes, he's like, oh, can we move the eyes? I wanted to go into George Lucas.
Yep.
Can we move the eyes down to the mouth? And can we put the nose above the eyes?
Well,
and
he's an alien,
and it's
Ray.
like, but we want it to look like,
You're an ET apologist, and I hate it.
Yeah, yeah.
and Spielberg's like, the shape of the head, can it look like a flesh-covered VCR? Is that possible?
Well, 1984 VCR, yes.
Right. And they're like, okay, fine, we can do that. And he's like, and they're like, what do you want for the body? And he's like, I
Penguin.
just want a wet bag of dog shit just slopped down over 2 3-toed feet. Just real slouchy. It looks like a burlap sack that's been pissed on. And they're like, okay, like fun, like big, like lovable round. He's like, not round, but definitely not in shape either. Like disgusting.
Like a
we
dad
want an
bod.
out of shape, disgusting
Brad
one. It's worse.
Oh.
And then they're like, what about the arms? And he's like, I want the arms all the way down to the ground. I want the longest, most fucked up arms coming off of this fucking weird appendage of a body that he has. And they're like, okay.
Like,
and then he
like,
looks at it and it's this tiny and he goes, I want the neck to get huge. I want this neck to skyrocket up. When he's excited. When he's excited, I want him to go, whoa.
So no legs at all. No.
No.
Feet touching the body.
I
We
barely want
yeah.
toes. But how will the little person inside acting? They'll waddle.
yeah.
I don't, we don't know what the gravity's like on ET's homeworld.
Yeah,
That's a good question.
maybe he gets home and he's like, and he just completely stretches out. He's like, damn, that was crazy on that Earth. Is that what you call it? Earth?
Oh, yeah, that'd
maybe
be
that's
good.
it. Maybe ET has like Luther Vandross's voice when he gets. So here he's just That's, by the way,
character Brad.
Until he goes like, ugh, or starts saying like, phone, all that shit. Before that, there's an entire like first act, even in a little into the second act, where the only noises he's making are.
I mean, he's got to get used to our atmosphere.
The first act of that movie is shot like a horror movie. It's just fog and like sparse lighting.
It's the scariest shit of all time.
It is scary. And then it's like, well, let's just drop candy and then it'll come in my room, right? And then it gets in there and it's clanging into shit. It's
the beginning of E.T. where because it's kind of they treat it like Jaws.
Yeah.
You don't see it. It's a lot of this rustling and this little shadow and it's like it is a straight up horror movie. It's Jaws. It's Jaws.
I wonder if I had seen it.
It's friendly Jaws.
If I had seen it as a youth, if I would have been as
not as we didn't connect to it as much.
Yeah, as apologetic about E.T.'s appearance.
My thing is this: like, it's all creepy.
Yep.
Right? We don't get a really good look at him. We just know it's disgusting and weird. Right? And his chest glows. It's like, no, it's good. It's a good thing that we can literally see veins inside of his
and his heart, basically.
amorphous body. Yeah. And then they're like, what are we going to see of this thing that children will love? What are we going to see of what looks like a like you know, have you ever seen a picture of like a hairless bear and you're like, this is a monster?
Yeah.
Right? That's a ghoul.
Yeah.
That's what, like, they were like, yeah, but uglier for ET, right? But this is it. Like, when this is something I didn't realize.
I'm converting to Rayism. You're completely. You're making every point I've ever thought about in my life. I've tried to back away from talking about ET because I don't want to acknowledge this.
Don't throw up on your stuff.
Everyone loves ET.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, are you people out of your fucking minds?
It's the Emperor's new clothes, right?
Yeah, it is.
But I'll say all of this stuff out. I'm going to lay out all my evidence, and then I have one twist at the end, right? So all of this is happening. Creepy. You don't get quite a good look at him. He's going the whole time, and then he's like, oh, and they're just stretching his fucking gross neck out. He's a brown burlap sack filled with like moldy potatoes. He's got arms that go all the way down. Never a good thing for a children's character. Name some characters that kids love that have arms as long as their entire body.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
that's a horror.
Philip
thing.
Longarms.
Groot. It's a weird thing, right?
It's a running joke that Brad has long arms because he does kind of have a little bit long arms.
Yeah, but he's no ET.
He's no ET. I'll say. I mean, I think that's fair to say.
Thank
You're
you.
not as long as ET.
So
get
all of that
proportionally.
So we get all of that draped in fog. Can't really see him.
Yep.
Creepy out in the woods, running
Draped in
around.
fog.
It's like the first part of that is like one of the scenes from Signs where it's just cornfield shit rustling, right?
Yeah.
In the nighttime. And then what we do see of him often throughout the entirety of the movie so far for me with my son is about 2/3 of the movie. And I've seen the whole thing myself, but this is his first experience. His hands are always wet. He has always wet hands and his body because I think the latex suit must have looked like shit when it was dry.
Right.
But he leaves a trail of that and everything he touches. And you see him like fucking with the speak and spell. And when he picks it, like when he moves his hand away, like there's a wet spot where his finger was.
You think this is a positive trait?
It's disgusting.
Let me ask you this: Have you guys?
And by the way, his hand, he's got like two digits there, and he's got a little bit of a nub thumb, and then one extremely long finger. Kids love a good long finger.
I'm not kidding.
They love a good long finger, but it's a ball at the end.
I'm not kidding. I'm feeling nauseous.
Philip Longfinger is the son of Philip Longarms. Have you ever seen a photo of like a fish or some sort of aquatic life?
I'll say this: if you can throw up in this episode, you'll totally redeem yourself. In my eyes, yeah, in my eyes.
A fish or some sort of aquatic life that lives at the bottom of the sea, where pressure is significantly different.
That's an ET.
And then you bring it up to the surface, and it looks bizarre.
Yeah.
E.T. was not meant for this world. He is not terrestrial. He is, in fact,
He's extra.
extraterrestrial.
But here's my thing. It's for the children.
Yeah, it
right?
sure is.
So like Finding Nemo.
Yep.
You're not seeing a lot of like, no. I want to see fish. Not cartoons.
Right.
Okay. I want to see fucking fish. Do you hear me? I want a real horrible looking moray eel to be snapping around in this scene, right? Like it's kid stuff. It's all cute. Right. It's all fun. But my point is I outline what this character is, right? Brown turd, always wet.
Yep.
Always wet. Like must be wet, right? That's what it said in the script.
Yes.
Must be wet or I walk. That's what Steven Spielberg said.
Yes.
The arms, the VCR flesh head, the eyes with the mouth and the nose above it. It's weird. And yet, all the kids from late 80s, early 90s were all just like, we love E.T. We love E.T.
I agree.
I just there's a story. And I wish I could remember his name. Somebody else was slated to direct E.T.
Really?
And Spielberg at some point was like, you know what? No, like this story is too close to my heart. I'm gonna pay you, but like a portion of the gross
David Lynch, right?
to not direct. Yes,
It was absolutely David Lynch.
Yeah.
and so he got residuals for the rest of his life for not directing E.T.
That's why David Lynch doesn't care anymore because
Yeah.
he has E.T.
He has
money.
E.T. money.
Because he
designed E.T.
That's why you like in Eraserhead you see a lot of the stuff that a lot of the ideas that he had for E.T. are in
Right,
Eraserhead, and I picture David Lynch just sitting there going, but I want his neck to grow. Right? I want his neck to get bigger.
Yeah.
I can't do a David Lynch.
It's hard.
but-
It's a hard impression. It's like well, maybe his neck. It's us. It's just too high. It's tough.
Maybe his neck could be longer.
Yeah.
And gross.
Yeah. Grosser.
Yeah.
Grosser. Keep spraying him with slime.
He's got an old timey director's
Yeah,
megaphone.
Grosser.
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 Shinier, wetter.
I'm not feeling nauseous.
Can we get a slime bucket in here? Can we get a slime bucket? We need a trail. Well, I wanted like a snail. I want a snail trail for the ET.
Little baby Ray, the PA, is going through with his tape.
Okay. I've got a bucket. I'm dragging the bucket behind me.
Why is the alien so scary?
So I hate E.T. I always was mystified.
I want him to look like porn for bugs.
Here's what's weird. He's so much closer to a gremlin than he is to Gizmo. Right?
Sure, yeah.
He's
yeah,
so close
absolutely.
to a gremlin. It's the skin is so
a
similar.
Scary object.
The hands are similar. The wetness. It's very similar.
Nothing not horrifying waddles. Okay, a duck waddles, yes, but that's different because a duck is a duck, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking when you see a dimly lit fog light directly on the thing, it's more of a silhouette, and it goes and like waddles forward. That's not a wee. Let's see what fun adventures happen, right? That's a run, Becky, run,
I agree.
right? Like
I can't
Maybe
agree
you
with you
should have learned a lesson about not judging by appearances. You know what?
Wow.
You're an adult in the land of E.T. You see a threat. You see a threat.
Yeah.
Children see a friend.
Yeah, and do you know? And this
We're friends. That's you.
Yes, sure.
And during
my
that
heart.
time,
Yep.
during that time when ET takes place, all of those children in ET that were so trusting of ET for sure would have been abducted in vans for sexual purposes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Well,
Chuck's
here's-
van.
Because it takes one guy who is like, he might as well be wearing a shirt that says, I'm a killer pedophile.
Yes.
Right? And he's got like one eye over here. It looks like Sloth from the Goonies.
He's got a really long neck, really long arms.
Yeah, and he's like, you want to come in my van for
Reese's.
candy of some
Reese's
kind?
Pieces?
Reese's Pieces?
I was going to
And
get
they're like-
M&M's,
Yeah.
but they were too expensive.
And all three of the children just look at each other like, yeah, okay. Right? They just get it. But here's, okay, just to further my cause here, there is a porn parody of E.T.
can't do it. I'm feeling it. I am feeling it return.
I'm grossed out by it, but you are scared.
I avoid ET. I don't know what it is.
When I see him walking down the street, I cross to the other side.
I avoid ET. I do everything I can. I have filters on my email that say like negative ET. Tells me about it. I don't want to know. I don't want to hear any news about ET or what he's doing.
ET news.
Well, I mean, if they're making a news.
It's 2020.
What is it, TMZT? That was a bad joke. But I just like the idea of like, oh no. And then there's pictures of like ET wearing like baggy sweatpants and flip-flops and with a coffee in his hand. And then like TMZ's like, we saw ET go to the coffee shop again today. But he went to Ariana Grande's house.
Well, it's funny because you think of me probably as like a guy who really likes pop culture and I like all these different things and I love all the the classic
I think that
stuff.
would be in the list of things I would use to describe you.
Yeah.
So-
for sure.
Things that would be read at your funeral.
ET. Start thinking.
It's weird that his funeral took place, but with like a two-way mirror in a concrete
I am
room
burying
with
you
one
with-
table
with
with a
ET.
handcuff loop in it. It's weird that was where the funeral was.
Burying you with ET.
Oh my God.
Oh.
So
Chuck makes me happy.
if someone walked around the corner that's right here with like a life-size like ET, just like a Halloween scary thing, it'd stop it. I'm not kidding. I would like scurry out of my chair and I'd knock everything over and I would really be frightened.
Yeah.
It just
Huge erection.
I'll say, all right. So in 2014, we went to Florida. Went to Universal Studios. One of the rides there is the ET ride, and Chuck had relayed this story about when he was a child, so sick he threw up, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? I can do it now. I can go on. And you were 30 years old, and you're like, I can do it now.
Yeah.
He's
And
squeezing your hand the whole time.
He was like, like the whole time. It was like it was the most terrifying ride.
These
and he had been
children that are on the ride are like,
these children on the ride are like, what's an ET?
Yeah.
And
It's funny
Chuck's
'cause
like,
it's not even scary or fast. It's just like, it's a scary ride though. It's not supposed to be scary or fast. You don't think so? The car?
no.
That was scary.
No.
I heard you won't even watch an Amblin movie.
So
He closes his eyes
going
for the
across
logo.
moon, you're like,
it makes me sick to my stomach. I don't know why. And
But my point was this, is the porn parody of E.T., right? Like a friend of mine was like, you have to see this, and it was like a GIF, right? It was just a GIF or GIF if you're insane. And it was just a GIF of this thing. But my point is this, like this paper mache weird creep thing, it didn't look worse than E.T. You know what I mean?
I'm sure.
It really
Did it
did.
have a
Right.
human penis or vagina?
Penis.
I don't know.
And it was human. Let's just say it was human.
Then pretty soon, everything got grosser. Grosser.
His neck didn't grow.
No.
So I have the same questions as you. Who came up with this? Why did they think it was a good idea? And ultimately, more importantly than anything else, how did it get through to pop culture and people? E.T. is beloved.
Steven Spielberg.
I will say this.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh God.
I will say this about
The ghost of E.T.
the marketing of E.T. Like the stuffed animals of him. If
Yeah.
you look at them now, because they still produce stuff,
Those are way cuter than E.T.
it's way different than what E.T. actually was.
Yeah.
It's almost like they were like, ooh, what do we do? And they were like, well, I guess if we pretend he actually had eyes up here and we make them big, we cut down in the slime, we cut down in the scales,
Well, it's
and,
less
we-
hairs.
and now he's not brown. He's like tan.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Stuff like
it's-
that.
It's
yeah.
The original E.T. is frightening.
Yeah. And I can't get over the picture of Steven Spielberg, like pre-production, just coming in, busy, setting everything up, getting everything organized, and they're just looking at it and going, I want his head to go way up, and the neck needs to move because I want the neck to come out really long, and so he screams and his head goes up for the kids. I want his head to go up and it screams for the kids.
Okay, Mr. Spielberg,
So-
I guess.
Does that make sense?
I do.
And the cute family dog barks at it, rightfully so.
Yep.
But then it goes and just screams in Alien goes, "Oh fuck."
You know what's
Yeah.
funny?
And runs away.
If they ran into E.T. in Jurassic Park, it would be the scariest part of the movie. That would be the most disturbing part of the
They
movie.
made ETs.
True,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and for some reason it can't go across a room without waddling like it's gonna fall over, like it's R2D2 trying to go
Yes.
woo 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 on
Yeah.
rocks,
Yeah.
right? And yet whenever it's outside, that fucker can fly, dude. That thing literally it can fly, but
Right.
it just goes like through all the bushes and
I
trees.
hate
and
that
stuff.
part. Oh my god.
I like it because it's clearly they just stuck it on something and shot it through the woods. There's no like run movement to it. It's just stock still going right through.
I'll say I want you to know.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you feel this way.
Yeah, it's a
you've-
disgusting
You've
creature.
redeemed yourself with me because we're on the same team.
All
with
right.
the
Well,
ET.
once you puke, you'll redeem yourself with me.
Team ET down with ET is how I feel, and I know that you're for ET.
So my experience.
What was that face for?
in when the Atari ET, the infamous Atari ET video game came out, that was my first exposure to like the story of the film.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
And
how
is it-
well it was translated.
And it was not translated.
Did it make you
well,
want to throw up looking at it?
from so I probably would have been 7 when I played the game, and so my brother and his friends would have been 9. So a 9-year-old explaining the plot of ET to a 7-year-old through the
Yeah.
medium of this infamously terrible video game.
Yeah.
I had no idea what was going on in this film. So I wasn't exposed to ET until I was grown. I was scared of Large Marge from Pee-wee's Big Adventure
Yeah.
in my youth. I think if I had seen ET as a child, I would have been scared as well. But because I didn't see it until I was in my 30s, it did not affect me the same way.
I just think we were truly, as children, starved for like
Yes.
stuff for us.
Right.
That when that came out, we're like, guys, this is it. Like, we're ride or die with this brown creep. Right. We are ride or die with this wet, brown, always wet creep.
I will say, I admitting, I have a fear of animatronics.
I know this.
A
Yeah.
deep fear. It makes me really uncomfortable. If you put me in a room with an animatronic and turn off the lights, I seriously, I could lose my mind.
But Chuck, E.T.'s not an animatronic. E.T.'s real.
He's an extraterrestrial.
He's
So-
going to walk through that door any
Not
moment.
funny. And so,
It's so fun. The idea that we could just,
You know when you wake up at 5:30 in the morning and you think you hear something in the house?
you do.
if I can't tell you how many monsters, goblins, ghouls, I'd rather see than ET walking towards me in the darkness.
Yeah.
So which alien would you rather encounter? The
Alien?
The alien from from Aliens.
This is easy. Jeff Goldblum.
I mean, it's
And I don't even mean from Earth Girls Are
Yeah.
Easy. I
Yeah.
just mean Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
it's tough because I know that
He might
the
be,
alien
though.
would eviscerate me.
Yeah.
So that's worse. But ET would probably
frighten you
chill
more.
me to the bone.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if ET just wants to talk out your differences?
What is he gonna do? He's gonna like slither and do that snake speak. I hate it.
Oh, no, he wants to give you a kiss.
No, I don't.
He
like
wants
it.
to bury the hatchet and give you a kiss.
Oh, you could kiss ET.
I could never
Yeah.
kiss ET. No.
If you hate
Yeah.
ET so much, then why does the Brad voice sound so much?
it does
like,
sound like it does. The Brad voice does sound like ET.
Oh, and I want to talk about something in the movie too.
Okay.
Now we've talked about how disgusting ET is.
or
Right?
the fact that he was created for another world. Yes,
Disgusting.
well, it's a disgusting world. So-
You have really strange feelings about these fictional creatures.
I
You know
sure
that?
do.
You're
I
like
sure do.
you're
But
like
Brad-
dwarves do not live in the woods. They live in the mountains and they mine.
I'm
That's very
with
strange.
Brad on that one. This part is crazy. But no, but I will like. It's not. It's for kids though. I think
Right.
is the
Yeah.
issue.
Yes.
Like the xenomorph
Right.
from
There we go.
Alien.
That was
supposed
the
to
word
scare
I
adults.
could not think of.
He's not. She
She.
she
Yeah. Please.
is not for kids,
Right.
right? It wasn't like James Cameron's
Yeah.
just like, you know what's gonna be really cool? Kids playing with their xenomorphs outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get off my ship, bitch, or whatever. What is it? What does Ripley say at the end when she like throws him off the
Oh, you said something
Ship.
about ugly, right?
you ugly bitch? I think.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a shame. That's a shame that they had to go there. You know what I mean?
Women should be lifting up other women.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? Lean in.
Yeah, and men should lift up other men at their
Yeah.
funerals.
I think Ripley should have said, "You go, Quain." Quain. I don't feel comfortable in this space anymore. But
In the movie E.T.
in the movie E.T.
Yes.
E period T period. The titular E.T. creates a bond with Elliot
Yes.
right away. The first instance of it, and I thought this was good filmmaking, right? Like good screenwriting. I love that you don't see any adults' faces other than the mom.
Right.
I love that the head bad guy chasing E.T., which in our movie's the hero. We only identify him as this guy with some keys on a key ring on his belt.
Yeah.
And that's the bad guy, right?
Right.
Those are all really clever things. And in the script, they slowly reveal their connection.
Yes.
Like the first one is Elliot going, "Are you hungry? I'm hungry." That's the first hint,
Yeah.
right? Then E.T. opens an umbrella in Elliot's room. It scares him, and Elliot's getting food in the kitchen. He drops everything. He's like, "Oh." He was scared. And then there's this scene.
Is there a reason they have a bond? Just
Yeah, E.T.'s a creep. No, they just say, I don't know.
This is not
It's
after
an
he touches
ability
them or something.
No, it's just some ability that E.T. has, right? Because he can make things float. He can make them fly. He's telekinetic. Telekinesis is going on. All the things.
is E.T. Okay, sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
Is E.T. You are so disturbed.
I hate
so
him.
there's a scene in the movie that is fucking wild to me because I get the gist of it.
This is the closest I get to like racism. It's just like, it's just like, keep him away from me. I don't want to think about it.
Whatever they do, not in my backyard.
Yeah.
You're an ET NIMBY.
Yeah.
So
I'm an MBT.
yeah, NIMBY T. That sounds like nimble ET, and I don't want that. Oh my God!
The last thing I want from ET is for him to be more nimble.
A spider ET.
Yeah.
Fuck.
What if
off.
ET
Are
got
you
bit
kidding
by a
me?
radioactive
Wow.
spider and he's like, oh, and he's just shooting webs and shit?
If he wore a suit, I think it'd be better. The queefing.
So,
Queef tea.
you know how I was giving you shit for shrieking with joy?
Yeah.
I just did it. I went, the queefing. So there's a scene, Elliot's at school, and his science teacher is telling them how they're going to dissect frogs. We never see the teacher's face. We just see just walking around, hearing his voice. And then Elliot is sitting in his chair. He likes this girl next to him. And E.T. back at the house starts drinking beer.
Yes.
And E.T. kind of gets drunk, but we don't see that visually. We see Elliot get drunk.
Yeah.
And Elliot gets wasted, and he frees all the frogs, and then he grabs the girl, just like E.T. is watching an old movie on television. He grabs the girl that he likes, spins her around, gives her a kiss.
Yes.
And then he gets hauled off to the principal's office. And
As-
then we
as
see,
he should.
And we see the girl kind of twist her foot, like, it's okay, she liked it, which is weird.
Well, Spielberg and
Yeah. So-
no indie, no. Yeah.
Get out of the way, kid. It's my turn. Now here's a question: who's more of a creep, E.T. or Indy in that particular case?
I mean,
Indy.
E.T. hands down. I don't know anyone who's a bigger creep than E.T. He belongs in jail. I think that
Lock him up.
whatever. However we get, however we get rid of E.T.
Yeah.
is I'm for it. I don't care.
Wow.
Death penalty.
This is how the Nazis happened.
I know.
Yeah.
So my question is this: so first off, like that scene happens,
Yes.
and at the end of the movie, E.T. he go home,
Right.
Right.
he phone
Thank
home,
God.
he go home.
Thank you.
My question is this: let's say E.T. stayed. Let's
Okay.
say E.T. turns around. He's like, you know what?
I'm staying, kid. I like you too much. I want to stay.
Little Glomer from the Punky Brewster TV show
I
there.
want to live here forever with you.
Right? Like
Yeah.
doing that. One eye's drifting off to the other side.
He's got a van.
I don't think I've been
Yeah,
as
his runny
quiet.
nose is dripping
This
into
is
his eyes.
this is the most quiet I've been in a podcast in a decade.
Good to know.
Yes. E.T.
Good to know.
E.T.
It's like your spray bottle as a cat. E.T. E.T.
I'm like, what's a ghoul, Ray? And you're like, E.T. I just go back into my doghouse.
This episode ends with us describing E.T. and you going, fuck you guys. And you hear do as you run up the stairs. Slam, click, lock the door. So if E.T. had stayed,
Yes.
he is now bonded
Yeah.
with Elliot.
Yeah.
Elliot gets a little older.
Yep.
All of a sudden, the girl that he kissed in school, she's like, "Yo, prom is
Right.
happening. Let's do this." If Elliot is having sex, because this is where the podcast always goes. If Elliot is having sex,
Right.
This is a good question.
high school, he's fucking doing his business.
Yeah.
Is E.T. sitting at home going like, "Whoa!" He's
yeah.
like, "Whoa!" Yeah, he's
See,
losing his mind.
yeah, I
he's
think so.
shooting just disgusting
Yeah,
slime out.
Yeah, the slime is just like pouring
It's
out
like
of
a
him.
sprinkler
Like
going
little
off.
Drew Barrymore is in there being like, "What's happening?" She's like moving away from him.
Yeah, and he goes,
The
and he
bed-
just goes,
the bed is
Get out. Get out.
the bed is just like soaking more and more and more.
I mean, I guess we don't know how. Can the bond be shut off?
I don't think so. I think this
you're
is
doing
happening.
anything you can to. This is sick.
I guess I'll ask Chuck. Is E.T. like full on like having his own orgasm?
I think. Do we think ET's a mammal? I'd say mammal.
He isn't.
He
I'd say
breathes
he's a
air.
mammal.
What the mammal thing is the eggs, no eggs.
We don't know if he lays
warm-blooded.
eggs.
We don't know if he lays eggs. We don't know if he's warm-blooded.
we don't know what he is because he is not of terrestrial origin.
I would say he's warm-blooded though.
Warm-blooded?
Probably.
Well, probably because he lives in the atmosphere. He's just like, hey, whatever, I'm here.
Yeah, because
he breathes air.
Elliot had to wear a sweatshirt,
And so he did too.
and but is it where there was there
it a disguise or was it?
was
yeah.
it
he
actually keep
breathes
him
air
alive?
for sure.
Yeah.
So that's a bunch of them.
Well, I mean, reptiles breathe air.
Well, he doesn't have gills. He's not a fish. We can agree on
We
that.
can agree he's not a fish.
He's not a fish and he's not a bird.
He's a bipedal, probably mammal.
I
Let's
think
say
he's a
that.
mammal.
I think
He has a heart.
So do lizards.
Not good at
So do
this
birds.
mammal definition.
Definition. Listen, he doesn't have feathers.
No feathers.
We don't know about the young in the ET universe. Although I
Right.
think there's a litter. I think I heard them upstairs. I
Shut
think
the
there's,
fuck up.
I think there's 6 or 7 little
They're
ETs.
all under your bed.
You know what they're called? By the way, a group of ETs? A curse of ETs.
I believe it's called a wee tea.
In the ET ride, you go to his home planet.
You are so fixated on this ride because it scarred you for life.
You go to his home planet, and there's like 1,000, and there's babies.
Yes.
Oh, there's babies.
So I like the idea of you sitting in the therapist's office with Jessica, and you're like, I just had a breakthrough today or last night because of the podcast I was doing with 2 of my close friends. And here it is. Are you ready? Write this down, Jessica. Write it down. I went on the ET ride when I was younger as a child, and now I can't have sex without choking my partner.
No, I can't. I can't have sex without hurting my partner and then healing them.
So I do think he's absolutely having an orgasm.
Yes,
I think he's
I do
having
as
a telepathic orgasm with Elliot. Now here's the problem.
I also think the camera pans up and we learn that Jessica is actually ET in disguise. and Chuck,
She is
not even that. She's got it's just a wig.
No.
and Chuck just didn't notice.
No.
like in ET.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
She does wear a tiny little hat with a flower on it.
I was just gonna say, can I ask a question? How wet are her notebooks? When you're talking, do you hear a lot of like that?
When Chuck is talking, he's not.
Yes, he's not listening. Yeah, he walks in and it hits the timer, and he's like, "So." Blah, 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 blah.
I was on the
Right?
ET ride when I was 8. Then I threw up for an hour.
Oh my god.
So my second question with that whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Elliot can give that to E.T., can E.T. give that to Elliot?
Yeah, because he gave the sensation of intoxication
Right.
to Elliot. So, but how is ET?
We don't know.
Right.
We don't know how he does it. What if to E.T.
Yes.
many of the things he did in the movie were sex to him?
What if the
What if
favorite
E.T.
thing?
went home and he's like, Earth is fucking crazy.
You know what? What if
I
what
fucked like a bunch of little ones. I fucked like one big one.
What if his like putting life forward is bringing things back to life with the touch.
Ooh,
That could
and then
be-
Elliot, there's a sequel, and Elliot's like, I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant with a little ET. Yeah, Elliot gets an alien pregnancy.
I don't like it.
Yeah, that's
That's a chest burster.
Yeah.
This is one of the things I wanted to ask, and I don't know the answer to this. You just did a. Ooh. You're scared of ET
Ooh, it
too. You're
sends
getting
I'm
shivers
scared of
down
being
my
pregnant
spine.
with an ET.
Yeah.
How's Elliot going to afford that?
E.T. it's a huge movie. It's like one of the biggest movies of all time.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
But never sequelized.
No, because
Never-
no one wanted to go back.
But
to
never
that.
never adapted into like a TV show or anything like that. Not that
What,
I know
there was
of.
not an
so.
animated in anything.
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
I
think it really is like a fever dream where everybody kind of came out of it a couple years later going, what the fuck were we doing?
I
That's
think-
what's weird about it. Is like
Look at
what,
this
what happened to
creepy-
E.T.
I think at some point there were plans that the second one is that they would like there would be a group a curse of ETs coming back.
ET, yeah.
But I don't know that is that a fever dream? Is that something I
Yeah,
made
it's
up?
so strange. And like, I think a lot of the descriptives you would use for a ghoul are things you can just describe as ET.
Exactly. Wet.
Moves weird,
Scary.
scary, breathes,
Oh yeah.
technically alive,
Yeah.
right? Creepy long fingers and hands that can reach out.
Oh yeah.
Fucks with you mentally. You know what I mean?
It's
Basically-
crazy that you have these feelings and you haven't even seen the death scene yet because it's gonna bring this
Yeah.
this disgust.
I remember it
to
from
100%.
childhood. I do
It's
remember
awful.
remember it from childhood.
It's
yeah.
awful.
I guess my last thing I want to say is if they have that connection, that mental connection, that telepathic connection, could they just mutually masturbate?
I think they.
Because if E.T. pleasures himself, wouldn't Elliot then be feeling that? Like when he's not even having sex. He's just he's a puberty raged boy, and he goes in the bathroom, right? And he's just in the bathroom by himself. He's like, "I'm taking a long shower, Mom." Right?
Yeah.
And at this point, his brother's gone off to college.
Right.
He got drafted. I guess I don't know in
Yeah.
Vietnam.
Yeah. I don't
That
know
already
how-
happened, but we're.
Yeah, sure.
He's in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Anyway, Elliot is in the bathroom and he's, exploring. E.T. knows. E.T. knows whenever
Yeah.
that's happening.
I think so,
too. Elliot comes out of the bathroom and E.T. just goes, "Ugh," and gives him a wink like, I know what you did.
What if they're just like, because you know how like, and I'm just gonna, it's more fun to have sex with other people than it is to masturbate. And
Sure.
people have that like weird joke about sitting on your hand so it goes numb, the stranger, whatever. You think Elliot's like curious, and he's like, "Hey, E.T., why don't you go in the other room and just like start humping a pillow and see what happens in here?"
Maybe.
Could be. It's I think that Chuck and I have a psychic bond, but like you just tune out all the sex stuff. At some point.
Yeah, I mean, if you had circus music going in the back of your mind at all times,
Yeah.
I think at some point you just sort of phase it out.
It's like living near an
right?
airport.
And it's very similar.
Yeah, you just
'Cause I
don't-
think a lot of Chuck's
just don't
sex
hear-
thoughts do have the soundtrack of
Like Brad will call me and he'll be like,
Yeah.
I'll call him and I'll be like, "Hey, Brad, it's 2 a.m. I'm under the George Washington Bridge in New York City." And he's like, "Okay." And he puts in his earplug.
Thank you. Just real quick on they wrote a treatment for a sequel to be titled ET2 Nocturnal Fears.
This is what the fuck?
It would have shown
Nocturnal
Elliot.
Fears?
It would have shown Elliot and his friends getting kidnapped by evil aliens and attempting to contact ET for help. Spielberg decided against pursuing it, feeling it would, and I'm quoting here, would do nothing but rob the original of its virginity. ET is not going. It's not about going back to the planet. End quote. And then they made a.
You used the phrase "not about" in the 30 years ago or 40?
I don't know when the interview was.
I know.
Henry Thomas said he hopes that a feature-length sequel never gets made, but added, quote, "I guarantee you there are a few men in a very big room now salivating and using their abacus and slide rules to come up with some really, really big numbers." In 2019, there was a 4-minute short film sequel that starred Henry Thomas as an adult with an adult family, blah,
That's
blah,
not
blah.
canon, I
Yeah,
don't
no,
care.
no,
Yeah.
it's nothing.
That's a
Yep.
fucking Twix commercial. You know what I mean? Like, this time he's using Twix to lure him out.
Right.
That'll happen.
Yeah, so that was it.
That's crazy.
No
and I
cartoons.
love the idea of like him being like teenage Elliot being like, I need help. E.T., You got to help me.
Yep.
Help me, E.T. You're my only hope.
Right.
And then E.T. calling back, right? E.T. calls back. And he's just like, I can't help you.
Right.
Like, look at me. I can barely walk
Right.
without falling over. What am I going to do? Like, what is the E.T. race going to be able to do?
I mean,
do
they've
they
mastered
have guns?
Yeah, they've mastered
Does E.T.
interplanetary
have
travel.
You're right. They kill. That
Yeah.
means the ETs do kill.
Right.
It's some degree.
No, they have interplanetary travel.
yeah.
They have guns? Where? How do they fire with their big fingers?
Why'd you say they kill?
Because they do. If they are a race of a creature that has mastered interplanetary travel, then by definition, for like evolving to that point and becoming like technologically advanced, they kill at some degree.
Eyes facing forward, right?
Yeah.
Predator eyes. Prey eyes are on the side.
Yeah. They're predators, dude. They're the top of the food chain where they come from.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense. Andrew Chavone is a prey.
yeah, so,
For sure.
So you should be extra frightened now that you know that ET is basically the predator.
He's
He's.
the predator.
They do have teeth. They do have like human teeth, right?
Sure.
Like flat across, which
think
means
so.
they're evolved. That's why we have. That's why our teeth are flat,
Omnivores, yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I do think.
I hate it.
And it stuck its tongue into the potato salad in the refrigerator.
Oh my god, its tongue comes out.
Yeah. And it didn't like
potato salad.
It didn't like the taste of the potato salad
Yeah.
and threw it away.
That's why I'm with ET. I'm anti-potato salad.
Chuck is so disturbed right now.
This is amazing to me. I had no idea it would affect you this deeply.
I just really want you to just try your hardest right now as a thought experiment, and then we'll leave. We promise we'll leave. We've overstayed our welcome.
Absolutely.
I've overstayed my welcome. I think I overstayed my welcome about 20 minutes into this podcast. Chuck, I want you to envision right now. Try it really for serious, for realsies, okay? For Halloween. I want you to envision E.T. like creeping into your room,
Stop it.
creeping into your bedroom while you're sleeping and gumming your foot.
Oh my god. You fucking asshole. It's crazy.
I want you to picture waking up like, what is on my foot?
if that-
It's warm and wet. What is that? And then you look down and you see those two big eyes looking up at you. And he just goes, E.T. right? Like that.
I'll tell you a truth that
I
that you
know
don't
we
about.
asked for a VFX guy to put Ernest in the Iron Man suit, but if we could get a practical effects guy to get an ET to appear in Chuck's room,
I'll tell you this.
Ernest
tell you this.
versus E.T. is something I do want to see, though.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
This is a couple years ago. My ex-girlfriend, we would hang out a lot here, and she had this alien mask. It didn't look like ET. It was like a rubber alien mask. You know
Okay.
the classic
Like a gray.
green? Yeah.
Or a
with the
green.
big diamond kind of eyes, I
Right.
guess. With the
Almond.
Right. So
Or were they diamond?
they were kind of like, I don't know. This is a specific
Almond
mask.
eyes, right? Yeah.
Almond eyes, I think, refers to people that have.
Don't finish the sentence.
So
Almond
anyway,
Joy bars.
So
People that are hungry for almond Joy bars, they have almond eyes.
I didn't know that she had set up.
Almond eyes.
She had set up an April Fool's prank for me.
Okay.
And I was editing really late, edited till like 5 in the morning. I opened the door to my bedroom, and she had basically taken my clothing, and she had stuffed like sweatpants and a sweatshirt, and like with a hooded sweatshirt. She had put the face in it so that it was sitting up in my bed reading a book and looking at the door. And I opened the door, and I met eyes with the alien mask. I dropped to my knees. I'm not kidding.
Ready to suck its dick?
Out of fear.
Please let me live. I'll suck your dick.
Out of fear. I
guy's got
dropped
great
on the
fashion
ground.
sense.
I collapsed. Listen to me. I collapsed, and I texted her, and I was like,
I'm about to suck this guy's dick. You gotta get in here.
I was like, what have you done? And I told her, I'm like, I couldn't go in my room. And I was like, I don't know what to do about this. And I knew it was a trick.
Yeah.
But like my body was shaking, and it struck me.
I was salivating.
It struck me so severely that it like the fear would not leave my body, even though I knew what it was.
This is incredible.
It was like
This is
running through my
incredible.
veins, like adrenaline, like I was like kind of crawling in. I couldn't look at it when I was trying to like take it apart.
I can't.
There's a problem with me. I don't
This
know
is
what it
so
is.
wonderful, and I can't wait for myself or others to take advantage of it. I really can't wait.
Masks. I punched a kid in the face in high school because he scared me with a mask on, and I lost it. I can't stand. I'm scared of masks. I'm scared of animatronics. I'm scared of ET.
What was the mask?
It was just like
It was the mask from the mask.
Oh no!
It was just a generic
stop
like
me.
rubber goblin mask or something. You know what I mean? It wasn't
a
anything
ghoul?
specific.
Ghoul mask.
Was it a ghoul-based mask?
It could have been. I just have this fear. I don't know. I can't explain. Obviously, masks and animatronics and ET all have something in common, which is a facsimile of some kind of being. But there is like a fear, a deep, deep fear. If I looked outside, when I close my shades at night, I refuse to look outside.
Please don't be an ET out there. Please don't be an ET out there. Please don't be an ET out there.
I refuse to look outside. I know it. So many years.
So I shot my mailman.
I'm very easily skittish. I don't know if you know that about me. I'm skittish. And I don't look outside when I close my windows because I think I'm going to see a thing.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm
very scared.
Sure.
Yeah, so-
Well, I'm sorry I brought up so much
No,
horror
it's okay.
for you.
I'm glad that other people feel this way. Sometimes I feel alone.
Oh, I'm not like
You're the same
horrified.
as me. You're me and you.
No.
Yeah, it's
team.
really like you're closer to Chuck than you are to me.
I think
Yeah.
that's an insult, I think.
Well, on this issue.
I'm just baffled by the entire design of ET as
Hey, same thing.
trying to make something for kids.
Yes.
Because most of those things you would also use to describe a scary thing that you're
Right.
trying to scare teens in a movie.
Yes. I think
but,
mine
yeah.
just stretches up to being horrified.
Well, we'll see what happens to my son Finn. He's going to watch the rest of the movie. So far, he's in.
Yeah.
It's just really strange. I think looking at it now, you're like, this is a gross
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, that's about it.
Nice.
I
Halloween
just wanted to
adjacent.
tell you.
Halloween
I think-
adjacent.
thought
Yeah, I
was
think it is.
Halloween
I'm
adjacent.
scared.
There you go.
I'm more scared of this than any of the Halloween movies we're watching.
Then we did it.
Yeah.
Hooray.
We did it. Well, we've had some tricks and we had some treats.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to make sure that if you have a treat or a trick to give us,
Mostly
make
treats.
sure you reach out to us on all of our social media platforms at Funbearable Pod and then whatever platform you choose.
Yes, that's right.
And you can also email us at funbearablepod@gmail.com because our AOL account was taken away.
Yeah, somebody was looking up questionable material.
Someone was making some anti-ET chat rooms
Yes.
in 1997.
So from myself, am I closing it? I don't know what's happening.
close it up.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. For myself, Ray Harrington,
I'm Brad Rohr.
Charles Dayton.
right at the end. Thank you and sorry for being Funbearable.